You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
What happens when the brain trust of Antenna Releasing and Deaf Crocodile join forces to create a space catering to the most ardent physical media-focused cinephiles? Adventures in Analog. That's what. A brand new physical media fulfillment center, video storefront, and microcinema located in Lee Summit, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City in the Kansas City metro area. The back room of the facilities will consist of a fulfillment center for all Deaf Crocodile and Antenna Releasing titles and merchandise. The front will consist of a physical media lover's dream. Discs galore, merchandise, film ephemera, and a microcinema where we'll be showing some of the coolest titles from Antenna Releasing, Deaf Crocodile, TerraVision, New Wave Video, and more. It's your one-stop shop for celebrating your love of film with folks who get it. If you are looking to help support, the time for that is now. We are currently running a Kickstarter campaign until the end of August to raise startup costs to make the space amazing. We have perks on our campaign that you can choose from that will be able to get you one-of-a-kind items like autographed original pieces of art, your name emblazoned on a wall, your ability to name a chair in the microcinema, and so much more. Check out the perks today and donate if you're able. Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Welcome to another live Reconnected, this time with the returning, for the first time in a long time. I've not been getting people back this quickly. Mr. Anthony King coming back from Cult Movies. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ryan. Great to be back. Hello, everybody.
Genuinely an honor. I think that some of our conversations have been some of my favorite, and so I'm eager for another big one tonight. And I want to make sure that people stay because it's going to be an interesting conversation. We always tend to get at least a little philosophical, but leaned into it this week. Our conversation after announcements tonight is going to be discussing religious or faith-filled films that are incredible, even if you're not religious. And that's, again, a mouthful. Like, I don't know, why did I choose that line? Awful phrasing. But anyways, glad you're here. Glad we get another Thursday. What's new for the summer for you?
Not a whole lot. We took, over at Cult Movies, Matt and I took July off from recording because Matt moved and I went on vacation and had a hockey tournament, and there's too much going on. So we're like, you know what? And that was the whole point of getting a co-host and like doing it with another person,
right?
To take the pressure off of having to do something weekly. Bless your heart, Ryan. And also being like, it doesn't have to be like super consistent. You know, we have lives and, so anyways, but we're getting back to it. We're going to be talking, the next episode will be about Nightmare Alley with our friend Preston Mitchell. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
But I got the Sunday scaries here on Thursday night because I'm back to work here in a week and a half, about 2 weeks. Boo, after having the summer off. The joys of working for a school, but the countdown begins.
It's a big deal. Obviously, there's that mounting dread, like in a horror movie. You can feel it coming, even though you know you got a little bit more time. It's held at bay, but oh god, here it is, and suddenly it's August 17th, and the kids are nearby. Ah,
it's funny being a parent. I wish I could get that same sense that other parents get, the same feeling where it's like, all right, here we go. They're going back to school. Yep. Summer break's almost over. And I'm like, okay, here we go. We're going back to school. Okay. So anyways, whatever. I'll take a paycheck. It's fine.
I guess if they'll thrust it upon me, but yeah, you are one person I always live vicariously through. You've got a lot of stuff going on with your kids that seems fun. Hockey's always seemed at least remotely interesting to somebody that's more athletic than like a grasshopper, maybe, but less athletic than anybody else that has legs. I'm awful at everything. So yeah, you're always doing random stuff like that. And you just went somewhere on vacation. It looked pretty great. Where'd you go?
We went to San Diego, and
that's right.
I texted Matt, my co-host, and then our buddy James Coddington, and I was like, when did I was on somebody's podcast a long time ago, and I shit all over San Diego, just talking shit about San Diego, and half joking, but I think it started with like, who likes the San Diego Padres? And so when it came time to pick a place to go for summer vacation, I was like, let's go to San Diego. And so we went because, they always say San Diego has the perfect weather, which they did. The weather was great.
Truly.
But you know what? There's sewage in the ocean. You can't swim anywhere in San Diego, like all the way up, like past La Jolla. Yeah. We had to go up to Laguna Beach, which is like a 90-minute drive in that awful traffic just to swim in the ocean one day during our week-long vacation. We're East Coast people, guys. That's what we decided. Even my kids were like, can we just back to New York, the Outer Banks? That's where we belong. So, God love you, San Diego, but the rest of you can have it. Not for us, man. In your poopy ocean.
I won't say I'm a West Coast person, but I'm a West Coast person. I mean, born in California, I've still never stepped foot in the Atlantic. I really need to make my way out there. I did a little thought exercise recently and talked with the wife about some things that I should have done when I was younger and didn't get to do. And one of them was literally going to the beach more. I grew up in Southern California and did not do it enough. I was always within a couple hours drive away and would much rather, I don't know, sit and play fucking Rock Band for like 11 hours straight. Sure. It's like, why? What are you doing with your life? 21-year-old me, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I love the ocean. If we could, we would live near the ocean, but it's got to be the East Coast for us. That's where my brother lives. He lives in New York City, but California, the traffic was god awful. We went up to Burbank one day to visit my cousin, which was great, and she treated us to Universal, which was awesome. And then we had a great night at her house, swimming in her pool and everything. But the traffic was unreal. Like at night, it was 9 o'clock at night, and we're like not moving on the the interstate. It was terrible. So just not, it was fine. But here's the great thing: my 8-year-old, every day he woke up, he's like, best vacation ever. My 13-year-old was like, oh God, I hate these people. And me and Bobby were just trying to keep it together. It's like, let's try to make the best of this. But back in Nebraska, I guess, I don't know.
And it's been miserably humid and hot here.
Oh, God, dude. Well, I guess the West Coast now has the newest heat dome. Thanks, capitalism.
We had supposedly our hottest feeling 3 days in a row in like 11 years or something like that here. And one day it was, I think they said the heat index was like 115. And this is coming from somewhere where over last winter, we got down to one night where it felt like outside negative 35.
Right.
That is atrocious for 1 year.
Yeah. Ours, let's see, was it Saturday or Sunday? It got up to, no, it was Monday. 117 was the feels like. And we went the week before, we had more of that, but we went swimming in somebody's pool.
Sewage. Oh, wait.
Yeah, this might as well been. The pool was warm and like there was no relief for it. So we swam for like 45 minutes. It's like, this is miserable. Like you can't cool down anywhere. So yeah, it's just having a great time here in the Midwest in the summer.
On the bright side, watching movies isn't too hot. What have you been watching lately?
Gosh, what have I been watching lately? We were just talking about that before we got on, and here I'm not prepared. Let's see. On a recent podcast, I talked about, I held up my Criterion of All That Jazz, which I had bought 5 years ago, and it still had the plastic on. guess what? I took the plastic off and watched it. Great movie. Loved it. Being a theater guy, it was right up my alley. Super cool. My wife and I watched Masters of the Universe, which is, it's not for me. I gotta say, it's not, everybody's like, oh, it's so fun. Yes, it's so fun. But like, it was really like, there was so much, wink, wink at the camera, so much of it.
It's a lot.
It was funny. But our biggest complaint was 2.5 hours. Are you kidding me? Like, that was just unconscionable. Like, why 2.5 hours? And then, okay, I want to talk about this real quick. I saw this review on, no. I posted I was watching this movie, and right away somebody commented, this is the gold standard of found footage movies. And that's what I'd heard from so many people. It's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, the scariest found footage. And I'm like, okay, finally I'm going to pull the trigger and watch this. It's the Poughkeepsie tapes. And it was fine. It wasn't, but like, I mean, the gold standard of found footage?
It's not.
Goodness me, friend. That is not the case here.
It is that if you've only seen like Blair Witch Project and 3 other movies, maybe. But
I would put Blair Witch Project like way above.
Oh no, it's a much better movie. But like if you're just talking about the medium, I could see somebody preferring.
Got it. Yeah.
For that.
I don't know. It just again wasn't my fave. And then, okay, here's the last one I'm going to talk about. I've been wanting to see this movie for a long time. Barbara Streisand, she's very funny. I love, I grew up listening to her music via my parents and grandparents. And then my favorite middle school teacher, Mr. Maddox, was obsessed with Barbara Streisand. And so like we watched What's Up, Doc? In 7th grade English class, and like he was always playing Babs on his tapes. So I don't know why now I decided to pull the trigger to watch The Mirror Has Two Faces. Have you seen it?
No, I was so ready to hear Shampoo after all that.
The Mirror Has Two Faces, directed by Miss Streisand herself. Extremely charming. It's a great New York City movie, which is, that's right up my alley. Jeff Bridges is like doing something, and I love Jeff Bridges, but he doesn't have the most range, right? But he's playing like this really neurotic, sort of self-involved, very intellectual type professor. And it's something I've never seen Jeff Bridges do before. So that was really interesting. But it's such a charming movie. I didn't know it took place around Christmas time. And so I have this rule. Like, I refuse to watch anything Christmas related, like, unless it's December. It has to be December.
Right.
So I felt a little dirty watching it. Didn't take away much of the charm, though. I still really loved it. So, there's a variety of things I've watched. Masters of the Universe and The Mirror Has Two Faces.
That's not too bad. For some reason, it seems like I got called out. Barbara Streisand. Why was I thinking Shampoo? I must have been thinking about something else. I'm trying to remember what cover looks like Shampoo that has Barbara Streisand in it. Anyways, that was my bad. Might have been Funny Girl I was thinking of.
See, The Way We Were.
I don't know. I'm behind.
Redford,
I'm behind. Yeah. Life is hard, everybody. I'm sorry. So as far as what I've watched, I had an odd, interesting, confusing week that I want to share one thing about and then hype up something with the other thing. So for the second time in less than about 60 days, I've had somebody recommend a movie that, unbeknownst to them, had a major component to do with the town I was raised in. Now, that's a big deal because the town I was raised in is 20,000 people in the middle of the desert in California, and nobody has any clue about this place other than referencing the first line in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I basically was raised in Barstow. I lived there until I was 25 years old. And a couple months ago, somebody recommended a movie that was shot there and starred somebody that was from there. It's like a big part of that movie. And then just this last week, I got recommended a documentary for Antenna to check out. And a big portion of it is about a building in Barstow, California. And I'm like, how does this randomly keep happening? That tiny little Barstow is getting brought up like this. So that has been fun to see happen a couple times.
What's the place in like top of the world, Alaska?
Barrow.
That's okay. All right, carry on. Sorry.
There's also a Barstow, Texas, too, that people have heard of sometimes.
We don't talk about Texas here.
No, not at all. Texas doesn't exist. So yeah, that's just been a fun thing that it keeps coming up. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is through the Patreon. I just had my monthly watch along with all the Patreon members over in my Discord, and I don't ever get to market myself on that front enough. And right now, kind of going through it, could really use some support and help and assistance, and not just monetarily, but just as a community. I got to be honest, really needed tonight. It's been a really tough, I was going to say a few days, but it's really been a really tough month in a way that I have not been much lower than this last month in many different ways. But yeah, looking forward to tonight, and really wanted to shout out, if you want to get to be closer friends, the Discord is probably one of the better ways to do that. And over this last weekend, our watch long, we had everybody vote, and they chose another Antenna sneak peek. So if you were a part of the Discord, you got to watch a documentary that we were announcing here in the next 10 or 15 days, I believe is when we're announcing that finally. And it's an interesting one because I will give this as an interesting thing that I've had to approach this for. Marketing this film has been weird because this film is playing at the UN Council in Geneva in September. The filmmakers and the film were invited to screen before the UN Council, and marketing something that has this sort of humanitarian approach, first of all, feels really gross if you are anybody that has ethics. And so, yeah, it's been an interesting thing to tiptoe around, but also it does need to make money. It is something that is important, and we want to get the story out to everybody. So it's been an interesting learning curve on that one, but I can't wait for people to see it. It was highlighted in the chat by somebody else who was there already this week. So if you go peek around, you can probably figure out what it was. But it's a really great doc, and I can't wait to talk about it. And it is supremely well made by an incredible filmmaker. So just a little bit more time until we can talk about that one. What about some pickups? What have you been picking up and cluttering your shelves with?
Well, let's start with the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. So our last episode of Cult Movies that we did, no TV on my shelves anymore. Can't do it. Our last episode of Cult Movies was on Wim Wenders' The American Friend, and it's been one that I've always wanted to own. So, boom, headed down the street to my local Barnes & Noble and picked up The American Friend. It's a gorgeous movie, but I'm fascinated by the Ripley stories and the casting, and we get into this. You can go back and listen to the episode, but the casting of all the different Ripleys through time is fascinating to me. Hopper, of course, is great in it, but Bruno Ganz commands such sympathy. You don't pity the man, but he commands such sympathy in this movie. So anyways, The American Friend, if you haven't seen it, it is so. I was talking to a guy at my meeting on Monday night who listened to the show, and he hadn't seen it yet, and I couldn't sell it to him hard enough. So if you haven't seen The American Friend, definitely check that out. And then I also picked up David Cronenberg's Crash, which I have not seen and still have not seen since buying. But kind of calling back to our last episode of Reconnected when we talked about film books, and you had talked about Beyond Darkness, the book Beyond Darkness. I bought that like the next day, and he, like, you were right, that guy like just nails it on the head about what it is about these like weird, gross, dark movies that we like or why we watch this stuff. Anyways, Crash is in that book, and I was like, oh, I don't know, just it being in the book was enough for me to like really pull the trigger on it. So I've also been, I don't know why, but I kind of go through this phase where I want to go back and pick up like early Scream Factory releases that I never got to. And I'm not like a Scream Factory devotee or anything. But I don't know. And I don't collect labels as some people do. But there were some early ones that I've never seen that I really wanted to get. So I got The Island.
Nice.
Which is, I thought it was a horror movie. It's not. It's a pirate movie with Michael Caine.
With Michael Caine, yeah.
Oh my God, like super fun. And so the funny thing is, my family, we always watch Jaws on the 4th of July.
As
But
one does.
my son's friend, Maggie, wanted to watch it with us because she hadn't seen it, but couldn't come over till July 5th. And I was like,
I
that
guess.
sounds ridiculous. It's like watching a Christmas movie in July, but Jaws post July 4th is almost sacrilegious. But for Maggie, we did it. Anyways, I thought, you know what? The Island is written by Peter Benchley, the man who wrote Jaws. And so I watched The Island on the 4th of July.
Just as good, right?
Yes, I mean, not as good as Jaws, but it was a good placeholder. I was like, this is a great, like, ocean faring summertime movie. Super fun. I had the best time with it. And yes, I agree. That's what I was like, oh, Peter Benchley must be scary. It's not, but it is fun. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. Speaking of labels, I don't collect the labels, and I haven't gotten anything from this one label, which is crazy to me, because he's been releasing some incredible stuff. I'm talking about Justin Liberty with Cinematograph. But there is one movie. The other thing is when he, and I don't know if they're still like this, but like they're not perfectly shaped. Like they're bigger than like the slipcases are
They're
big.
too tall. Yeah.
Yeah. Not for me. And I'm not.
They do have standards usually.
Yes, they do. And so I'm not a slipcase guy. And if something comes with a slipcase, it goes directly in the trash. I'm sorry. That's where.
Ooh.
I mean, like I won't get like shit from Vinegar Syndrome with slipcases because if the option is to get standard, I will always get the standard. But like, you know, if you get it just a studio title, you know, like I got Hocus Pocus a couple years ago and it came with that directly in the trash. No, thank you.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. So I noticed, oh, look at this. They're also doing a standard definition of, or a standard edition of a 4K release of one of the most important movies in my life. And this was the movie that I watched, and then I wrote an essay about it for this movie a couple years ago, coming out as pansexual. Something about this movie, like, I don't know, really opened up my mind to myself. And like, I had this really self-introspective moment that is still lasting for 2 years. Anyways, Kino Lorber had put this out, and I waited way too long, and it went out of print. And I was like, fuck. And selling it on eBay or like used on Amazon.
It was like $80.
Yeah. Like it's really expensive.
For a
like,
not great Blu-ray.
Not like, I love this movie, but not $80 love this movie. I don't love any movie for $80. I'm sorry. But I did get Boys in the Band, by William Friedkin, directed by William Friedkin, written by Mark Crowley. One of my all-time favorite plays. But there is something about this movie that I just feel a weird, like, super strong connection to. And the crazy thing is, like, I watched this and I loved it immediately the first time I saw it. And then I watched the remake that Netflix put out back in 2020, and it's flawless. It's a flawless remake. It's not necessarily shot for shot, but it's the play on screen. It's wonderful. I love it just as much. So if Criterion could ever put out the remake of Boys in the Band, that would be also great. But anyways, this, God bless Justin for putting this out and then just loading it up with all sorts of great stuff. So I just got it in the mail yesterday. Excited to get into it, but the Boys in the Band, just holy crap. What a movie.
I love that all throughout your lead up. I was like, this could be about 3 movies. And then you said something else. I was like, okay, this could be about 2 different movies. And then you said Kino Lorber. I was like, all right, I know which one it is. It was definitely, it was for me, it was between that and Welcome to the Five and Dime. And I was like, which one? Boys in the Band is incredible. And yeah, Cinematograph, I don't know. They're such an interesting label for me because it seems like they're either masterpieces or did 15 people see this and how have I never heard about this? And I love that in a way, but also buying premium editions that are way too tall for most people's shelves is a really weird way to do that.
Well, and his releases are so, like, they're all over the place. Like Studio 54 coming out, like, like, what a strange, like, I don't love that movie. And
have you seen the other cut? That's the big question.
Oh, was that the big?
Because supposedly, it's like 40 minutes of different footage. It's like a completely different movie. Yeah, I've not seen it yet, but that's my question.
Okay, yeah, but again, like the price point, and I'm quite frugal when it comes to my movies. This was $30, and that's, sorry folks, that's about as high as I go. That's why I wait for sales, right? Like you dig into the sales, like most people or a lot of people do. But it's hard for me to justify like $60 for one movie. And granted, there's 2 movies on here with Friedkin Uncut. Still, it's pretty expensive. $60 for a movie. Holy crap!
Yeah, it is pricey. That is a lot. But I'm glad you got it because it's an incredible movie, and I'm glad it meant so much to you.
For sure.
All right, I got a few interesting pickups, small little stack. One, I talked about this film when it was announced a few months ago and said, I really want to see this, and don't get to see a lot of just straight mainland China films. Dead to Rights came out from Giant, and this is supposedly great. This was the official submission from China for the Oscars. And it's inspired by real photos from the Nanjing Massacre from 1937. And it's about a World War II story and looks and sounds freaking incredible. Just got this in. Eager to see that. Alliance has a couple films coming out. One of them I saw at a movie theater that I think is the most expensive ticket I've ever paid for a movie. And primarily it's because it was in New Zealand. And it was this really fancy come in here and eat a meal. And then stupid, my wife and I, we go in there and eat nothing. We're just like, we paid extra to not eat. I don't know why. It was dumb, but it's just because of timing. We had to go in there. But the other one that I've been hearing everything great about and yet still sounds one of the silliest concepts of the year. Of course, the expensive one, Hail Mary, or Project Hail Mary. The other one, Sheep Detectives, which is supposedly great. Needing to see the Sheep Detectives. Have you seen that one?
Not yet. I know was it streaming on Amazon Prime or
yeah.
No, when it popped up, on your sort of opening screen or whatever, when you turn on your TV, I was like, oh man, boy, Hugh really needed a paycheck here, I guess.
Yeah.
But then everybody started watching it and it's like, everybody's loving it. I'm like, get out of here.
It is screaming Babe 2 Pig in the City, which is a masterpiece. And I'm so excited that if it's anything remotely like that, and everybody seems to be happy with it. I don't think I heard one person say something bad. So All right, I'm into it. Yes, those were both Amazon back disc releases, unfortunately. I mean, it's a good thing that they're putting them out, but Alliance and Amazon, The other one just got in through my subscription, which is, once again, I will shout out as the best subscription in all of physical media, and fight me on it. I don't think you can, because it truly is every single time. Oscilloscope, brand new Blu-ray release of Natchez. This one is a film by Susanna Herbert. This one just came out, and this is supposedly really great. Looked it out when they announced that it was coming out. It's got Tracy Rev Collins in it. It's got Kathleen Bond, a couple other names I recognize. But it captures an unsettling clash between history and memory in a small Mississippi town. And I'm already in. Like, that sort of thing is exciting. Yeah. Love to hear that. A lot of the Mississippi stories are ones that get overlooked, and for a few reasons throughout history, and not into that idea. The last thing, one of the weirdest bundles I think I've ever received from Severin together, and this is such a back and forth between weird, what the fuck is this, happiness, and then the complete opposite of that. So we've got this beautiful box set that they put out, which I haven't gotten much from Severin in a long time. So to get in the Disco Italiana box set of disco exploitation films is always exciting. And of course, they threw in with that the Music Machine to make it a full bundle. But to get in the same package with that, Threads on 4K. It's just the perfect way to have an overall dessert, amuse-bouche, whatever you want. Like, no matter what, it kind of goes oddly together with the rest of the happiness on that plate.
That's funny. I recently rewatched Threads within the past couple months, and I know people. A lot of people say just one of the most disturbing and depressing, and I don't get that from that movie. I mean, it's interesting. I like it, but I'm like, it's pretty British.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty British TV.
It's very British.
Right. But I'll tell you what I do like is that Severin, when they announced that, they put out the pin of the One-Eyed Cop. Oh God, so good.
Love that. Dustin on Facebook. I normally would not spend so much time, but I think this is hilarious, and I really have to hammer this home. Says, can I say, I appreciate you and your team ensuring you have sound sources before reporting. I can't tell you how much I hate groups or companies that report speculation without granted resources. Fully agreed. However, I have to bring up the words your team. I'm just autistic, and it's all me. Like right now, in 2 days on Saturday, I have 4 hours of my life dedicated to Vinegar Syndrome announcements, because I know that's what I'm going to be doing for 4 hours on Saturday. It's just me. No team here. This is just me doing all the research to make sure that you find some respect in that. I wish that I did have a team, but I'm glad that you noticed, Dustin. That means a lot.
Someday, Ryan, you'll have a team.
Someday. Let's see. We've talked about pickups. We've talked about announcements. You all know what's coming. So hang out afterwards for the spirituality talk tonight.
It's not going to be preachy. It's going to be interesting and philosophical and deep and fun.
Quite. And you know what? To bring it full circle before we dive into announcements, I did want to point out one thing. The last time you were on here, we talked about books, and I just want to say how meaningful it was to me that we had that conversation, and one of those books spoke to you so much that you went out and bought it the next day, and then you actually read it and brought up to me how much it meant. And it meant so much that the conversation that we shared, it is like one of those things where you're programming essentially a film to a friend and it hits for them.
Right.
That means the world that you listened and cared and went out there and was like, oh yeah, you were right. This actually does exactly what you said. And it just means so much that you care.
Listen, there are, we're podcasters and you do YouTube shows and all this stuff, and you meet all sorts of people and you talk to so many people. And the truth of the matter is that not every single one of those conversations will or is going to be one of the best.
Nor should they be.
But there are certain people in which you talk to, and then you just, because of that first conversation, you realize there's this special connection. And so, the relationship evolves and grows, and you get together virtually more, and you have more of these conversations, and then you end up texting each other and asking about each other's lives and all of that stuff. And so I'm happy to say, and I'm very proud, Ryan, to call you one of my good friends, and anything that you recommend from your heart, I take very personally and genuinely, because I know we have that connection, and there are, my co-host Matt is another one of those. That's why, we podcast together. You have a connection with somebody, and you actually listen to what that person is saying. Not saying that we don't listen to all the other people we talk to, but there's that special connection or that bond. And so, yes, when whatever it is, we like fucked up sick movies, and you're like, hey, this movie says why we like fucked up sick movies. I'm like,
yeah.
You know me clearly. And so I read that and I was like, God damn, dude, Ryan so knows me. So I had to text you and just let you know, man. So, and I assume there's a lot of other sickos out here watching this right now. If you don't have Beyond the Darkness, get it. It's freaking incredible. And it's a film guide, but for gross people.
And
like us.
Honestly, for the price, is super affordable for what you're getting for it.
So many movies, and it's probably, I'd say, half the movies I'd never even heard of, foreign shit. And I did check out some of the really gnarly ones he wrote about, and I was like, not for me. Okay, at least I feel good about that. The corpse fucking, just one time for me. That's good enough. I don't need a rewatch on that.
I guess just giving away the farm tonight without anybody even asking. So this week I got my first unprompted voice message through one of the Antenna accounts from a filmmaker, and it was in a foreign accent. Not going to name the filmmaker or anything like that. But he DM'd and he was like, do you work in foreign films? Are you somebody that can distribute anywhere in the world? And are you happy with foreign films? And a little, not broken English, but he's definitely English second language. So I said, yeah, of course. If I love the movie, I'll put it out anywhere. And then he goes into this second voice message that was okay, so I have a movie that is one of the most disturbing movies ever. Are you okay with pornographic material and something that will probably offend everybody that you know? And I was like, is it good? And I think he was ready for me to be like, no, we are not into that.
Right.
And yeah, now I'm just patiently waiting for the link. But I looked up reviews and everybody was like, this is not a movie I can recommend to anybody. I'm glad I watched it, but it's horrible.
Yes.
So I'm very intrigued. Oh, yeah, I might be broken. Anyways, let's talk about some announcements. Second Sight announced things last Friday to start the week off right. So coming on September 28th on 4K and Blu-ray in a dual format limited edition. They're also doing a standard Blu-ray and a standard 4K. We're getting Glazer's Sexy Beast from 2000. How do you feel about Sexy Beast, sir?
Oh my God. Like everybody else, it's fucking great. Listen, Ray Winstone is one of the kings of cool to me, and he plays that in this movie. Yeah, God damn it, this movie is so fun, and who doesn't love a heist movie?
Amen to that. And Jonathan Glazer, hell of a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Turns out he's pretty okay. So we got a brand new 4K restoration from the OCN, supervised by Glazer himself. We've got an audio commentary by John Bleasdale. We've got a new interview with Ray Winstone, new interview with Ben Kingsley, new interview with Ian McShane, new interview with the producer Jeremy Thomas, new interview with the editor Sam Sneed, new visual essay by Lee Singer, behind the scenes, on location, cast and crew interviews. First off, that's some giant names to get brand new stuff from Second Sight. So bravo for that one. Great job.
Yep.
If you get the limited edition, you get a slipcase that goes around the outside with this new artwork, which I'm kind of about. But good God, 160-page hardback book with new essays by David Michael Brown, Jamie Graham, Joel Harley, Nathan Lund, Christina Newland, Katie Reif, Hannah Strong, and Travis Woods, plus the classic It's Second Sight, so you get 7 art cards that you're going to open and then never do anything else with. But the book sounds incredible. The release sounds great. I got told about this release like 6 months ago, and I've just been patiently waiting to be able to see this in 4K. This sounds incredible. If you've never seen Sexy Beast, please give this a try. Doesn't matter if it's a limited edition or standard. Just watch the movie. Glazer's amazing. Great movie.
Standard. For me.
Hopefully 4K at least.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one, which I also love. September 28th, we're also getting a limited edition 4K and Blu-ray release of The Killing Fields from 1984. This is a movie that I was shown by a teacher in high school that, God, did it make me very empathetic back then, for sure. This is a movie that is incredible, directed by Roland Joffe. It is about the Khmer Rouge and everything happening around Cambodia. This is from 1984, shot tremendously. Have you seen The Killing Fields?
Never.
I kind of thought that's what that meant when I saw you staring intently at it. I assume letterboxed, but
yes.
I love that I could read the screen without seeing it. This is a dual format release, or they have the standard 4K or the standard Blu-ray. And then we've got an audio commentary with the director, Roland Joffe, new interview with Roland Joffe, new interview with the producer, David Putnam, new interview with the writer, Bruce Robinson, interview with the actor, Julian Sands, archival interview with David Putnam, and some deleted scenes, plus a 120-page book with new essays by Tim Coleman, Martin Conterio, Jamie Graham, Andrew Graves, Dan Schindel, and Sean Wilson, plus their art cards. Again, superb film. If you've never seen a Roland Joffe film, highly recommend it. He's an incredible filmmaker. Joffe did get a box set from Imprint, and this was in that box set, so some people might have it, but just absolutely stupendous filmmaking. If you've never seen any of his stuff, highly, highly recommend it.
Sold.
Movie Eddie says it's his master film, pre-ordered day one. Amazing.
Nice.
Love to hear that. Anthony, you remember who the author is on Beyond the Darkness offhand?
I'm going to look it up right now. The Darkness book is by... Oh, snap. Oh, come on. Nope, it's all Living with Grief. Bro.
Rest in peace to Julian Sands. I agree, RFV. And yeah, that box set from Imprint is really great. Every film in there is incredible.
Okay, it is by Phil Russell.
Very, very vanilla name there. Phil Russell.
He sounds like a very British sicko.
All right. Next up, we got our new slate of announcements from Toy Robot Video, some that we had not heard of, at least one that we had. So October 5th, we are getting a 4K and Blu-ray dual format release in the UK only, since Synapse already released, or Red Shirt Pictures with Synapse already released it here in the US. We are getting Trick or Treat from 1986. And I believe, if I'm remembering right, all of the extras on here are on that same Red Shirt Pictures release, so there's nothing brand new. Do like the cover art on this one quite a bit, but glad this is getting a release in the UK. Good, solid film. It's probably a little more tame than people remember, but it's still a fun time. Yeah,
that I will say, it was sold so hard to me because I'm sure it was a nostalgia thing for so many people, and so I watched it fairly. I think this year, maybe. Yeah, last year. It was good, but not as, like you said, it's a lot more tame than I was expecting.
Still worth it. If you've not seen it, give it a watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anything, it's for the Ozzy and Gene Simmons cameos. Next up, October 19th in the UK, October 20th here in North America, we're getting a Blu-ray of Manhunt from 1976. This sees the iconic Ken Takakura from Black Rain and A Fugitive from the Past reunited with Japan's top action director Junya Sato in a high-octane crime thriller that takes him across the whole of Japan. I have not seen this one, but on this, we've got a new commentary by Jasper Sharp and Amber T. We've got a new Mark Schilling speaking on Manhunt. We've got a discussion of the film and its production by Junya Sato biographers Masaki Nomura and Tatsuya Masudo. We've got a new textual essay by James Marsh and a text essay by Earl Jackson with a stills gallery and a trailer. I've not seen Manhunt. Have you seen this one?
Never heard of it, but I'm always down for Japanese crime movies. Come on.
It is getting a release from Umbrella as well, so if you want that one or maybe pre-order that one, keep an eye out. But I've heard this is pretty decent, and I've loved Ken Takakura and everything I've seen with him.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, seems like a good time. Next, October 19th in the UK only, we get a Blu-ray of High Road to China from 1983. This is with Tom Selleck and Bess Armstrong. I believe this also had an imprint release semi-recently. I saw this and immediately took a nap, but for other people, that might be your type of film. We got a new interview here with Bess Armstrong, new interview with the associate producer Frederick Muller, and then Vic Pratt speaking on High Road to China. Have you seen High Road to China? Am I missing out by taking a nap?
No, but I bet our moms love this movie.
My mom would hate it for sure.
Tom Selleck, really? Moms and Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, sure. The movie, I don't know. Craig says, love this film when it came out. Do you know if it's a new restoration? The fact that they don't say it's a new restoration, I'm leaning towards probably not. If it was, they would brag about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess no.
Oh,
well. Next from them, a long-awaited title, October 20th in North America only, no UK, North America only, a Blu-ray of Watchers from 1988 with Corey Haim. Now, this one's weird because Shout Factory had put this out, they put out the sequel, Watchers 2, on Blu-ray years ago. I think it was a site exclusive, so not many people could get a chance to see it. But it's always been weird that Watchers has not had a decent release. And here we go. We get a Blu-ray of Watchers coming out. Now, that does probably mean somebody else in the UK does have access to it. It's probably not Arrow, because if it was Arrow, they just put it here on the Toy Robot video line. But the big thing is there's likely another release coming. It probably will also just be Blu-ray. So if you're holding out for a 4K, I would not count on that. If it could be done in 4K, Toy Robot here likely would have done it in 4K. They've got the money. They don't need to wait and let somebody else trump their release. But on here, we got a new interview with the director, John Hess, new interview with Michael Ironside, new interview with the actress Lala Sloatman, and then a new interview with the actress Barbara Williams. We got a trailer and a stills gallery. That's it. But the big star here, just being able to get the movie out there, that is a big deal. Have you seen Watchers, sir?
I never even heard of it until this announcement.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, until when was that? A week ago when you put it out? Yeah.
I had never seen this one. I bought the sequel.
Fuck it, Brits, we win this time.
Yeah, because this is the only time that we won.
Right.
I bought the sequel from Shout Factory years ago and just said, well, somebody else will do Watchers soon. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
And so when this comes out in October, it'll finally be the chance for that double feature. And I mean, who knows? By then, maybe we'll get an upgrade on Watchers too. Yeah. Watchers this October. But that's it from Toy Robot. Since you weren't here for their first round, how are you feeling about their announcement so far? It's been kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Interesting, nonetheless. So, it's kind of like what we were talking about with Cinematograph, and, you never know what this month is going to bring, right? So, that's always fun to me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to love everything they do, and that I'm not, necessarily going to get everything from them, but it's still fun to see the direction this company's going.
Yeah, absolutely agreed there.
Yep.
Next, Music Box Films. On August 18th, they're putting out a Blu-ray and a DVD of The Stranger from 2025. This is the Francois Ozon film, and it says, in French Algeria, office clerk Mersault, that's definitely not how you say that, it's probably Mursault, stands accused of murder. His only alibi is a mysterious indifference. Photographed in sensuous black and white, acclaimed director Francois Ozon's fresh take on Albert Camus's classic novel of existentialist ennui is a landmark of adaptation. Hoo boy, that was a very French synopsis there as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen this or anything from Ozone?
No, I haven't. No. Although this, I'll be honest, I'm not going to buy this. It sounds like something, though, I would watch if it popped up on a streaming site.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm the if there was a spectrum of French to not French, I'm even further than not French. Everybody's saying it's pronounced Camus. Remember, I hated Breathless with Anthony.
God.
I'm not going to get anything French correct. We're lucky I said Francois instead of Francois.
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 Albert.
Oh.
Albert Camus.
I think I said Camus at least. Let's be fair. I'm lucky that I said ennui.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't even know that's how you spelled that, to be honest. I was like, N-U-I. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Ronnie. All right, let's talk about something else I know very little about. We got a Blu-ray that is out now in the UK and North America from a new label called Exotic Material. And this is Eternity's Pillar with Alice Coltrane. And this covers 1985 to 1988. And this new label is involving Nick Wrigley. He's one of the founders of Masters of Cinema, which, of course, is the Eureka Masters of Cinema line. He was a part of the big uprising there in this very like art house focused, very heady label that they had started there. And from their About page, it says they are a UK-based publisher founded in 2025 to help resurrect Alice Coltrane's Eternity's Pillar television program. Now, it does sound like there are more things coming from them. So this is just what basically led to the founding of it. They're working on a number of new projects, but none are near completion. So don't expect new announcements every month or anything like that. And this says, uncommon ventures with exceptional characteristics excite the label. Say hello if you have any projects that would benefit from their careful attention and love. So they do want people to reach out if they have anything that fits that. This is a 2 Blu-ray set containing nearly 9 hours of seldom seen transmissions from the jazz visionary and spiritual leader Alice Coltrane. In 1985, KTTV Channel 11, an independent commercial LA-based TV station, began broadcasting Eternity's Pillar every Sunday after midnight. So you get 17 episodes of Eternity's Pillar. It is totaling 514 minutes from broadcast master tapes held by the Coltrane Archive. They also get Black Journal number 26, Alice Coltrane, a Love Supreme documentary segment made for TV and shot on 16mm film. And we get a limited edition full-color 80-page book containing a detailed episode guide, Alice Coltrane's written responses to questions about Eternity's Pillar, a new interview with Michelle Coltrane, a remembrance by J. Lakshmi Moss, 3 new essays by Kevin Legendre. That's not how you say that, I guarantee. Ross Wallace, Chait, and Nick Wrigley, and then writing about Black Journal number 26, Alice Coltrane, A Love Supreme. This is a lot. This even, like, being a thing that is still allowed to exist in the world is so cool. The fact that the archive held on to them, this is crazy. This is the exact sort of thing that speaks to me. How much is this Anthony saying, I want it now?
Well, hold me back. Listen, I love Alice Coltrane. She is too brilliant for me. I've tried to read some of her writing, and I've heard a lot of her speaking stuff. She's really deep. This sounds like something if you did some drugs and then pop this in, you might have a good time.
I mean, okay, you got me.
I don't know.
You got me. I'm in on this, and I definitely want to see this soon. This is one that has been a name that I've seen bandied about for years, and just to be able to see something like this compiled into one case is kind of incredible, and I'm all about that life. Eager to see this.
Yeah.
Wow. Next, another one that I'm quite eager to see. We don't have a release date on it, but you can pre-order this already. Over in the UK, Studio Canal is putting out Colony from this year, brand new film. It's getting a 4K, a Blu-ray, and a DVD release, and you'll recognize this because it is directed by Yeon Sang-ho, and that is the individual that directed like The Wailing and a couple other incredible films. I love The Wailing, so I am quite eager to see this.
Yep.
God, it looks great. And of course, the one that always gets an early look at these, Josh Hurtado's in the chat saying it rules. So I trust that, and I need to see it. Yeah, love the cover on this too. The poster here is great.
Yeah, if that's what they stick with, then I'm down. That looks cool as shit, man.
Yeah, looks very, very fun. Next, Studio Canal putting out a couple other titles we're going to talk about. September 28th, we're getting a 4K of Accident. This is coming as part of their Vintage Classics line. This is from 1967. We got a... Oh, did I get that wrong? Josh, what did that director do?
No, was it the Train to Busan guy?
Oh,
right?
Yeah. That's what the guy that did The Wailing he's got the other one coming out in like 2 months as well. My bad.
Yeah.
Train to Busan, though, one of my favorites.
And I haven't seen Train to Busan. I have seen The Wailing. The Wailing, fucking incredible.
Are you a zombie movie person?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Hope is the one coming from the guy from The Wailing. That one looks kind of crazy, too. Have you seen Hope yet, Josh? Let me know. I don't mean to just be having a conversation with just you in the chat, by the way. Yeah, Colony is great, and you should watch Train to Busan.
Okay.
It is how do I sell this to Anthony? One of like the most heartfelt zombie movies I've ever seen.
That's what's keeping me away. Zombies, cool. But like I don't want it to be sad. I don't want to be sad. There's enough sad.
It's not just sad. It is hopeful as well.
Okay.
In a way that is really great. Okay.
Yeah. I will watch it. I will. I got to be in a mood, but
okay. I will. So like a Christmas movie.
Exactly.
Or Jaws on the 5th of July.
Oh, God. Can you believe her? We must love Maggie a lot. Jesus.
Speaking of accidents like Maggie made, 1967 is the year Accident came out. This gets a 32-page booklet. New Pamela Hutchinson speaking about Accident. We get an interview with the dialogue coach, Claire Davidson. We get Maxwell Caulfield interviewed by Michael Billington, and then some archival extras that's on here as well. Heard this one is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Dirk Bogarde in it. I've not seen this one. It does feel a bit like an Anthony movie. Have you seen this one?
I haven't, but I love a Bogard Losi team up. Anyways, yes, I love Losi. I love Dirk Bogarde. Stanley Baker. I'm joking. I don't.
Oh, what a Dirk. All right. Next up, October 5th, we get a 4K from Studio Canal from their Cult Classics line, A Flick Story from 1975. That's probably not how you say flick. It's probably fleek. Is this where the teenagers got on fleek? Never mind. Sorry, Ronnie. I'm, again, not French. I don't know who Alain Delon is.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Did not mean to ruin that for everybody. Based on a true story, this follows Roger Borniche's, is that how you say it? 9-year pursuit of Emile Buisson, a seasoned killer who escapes from an asylum and begins a murderous rampage. We get a 12-page booklet with a new essay by Peter Raleigh. This is an SDR restoration on it. We've got a new visual essay by Will Webb, and then some archival extras. Oh, Ronnie says I was right. And it's a French title. I feel quite proud.
Hard C. Fleek.
Hard C.
A Fleek story. Got it.
All right. Let's go to our next one before I ruin more French things. Although, guess what? It's a French film. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Luc Besson. October 19th, we're getting a 4K steelbook over in the UK from Signature Entertainment of his Dracula film from 2025. Interesting art on this one. I've heard so many weird, just opposite ends of the spectrum things about this, as it's the best Dracula adaptation ever to just a pile of drivel. People I trust. Is this good? Is this bad? Has anybody seen this? I know Luc Besson is I don't want to say controversial. He's a pile of shit. But, like, is this worth watching? I don't know. The steelbook looks nice, but we got an interview with the director on here, becoming Dracula featurette, composing Dracula featurette, directing Dracula featurette. Any thoughts on Luc Besson or Dracula?
I don't, you know what? I don't know much about Luc Besson, and it sounds like I don't want to. But Steelbook. I feel the same about Steelbook like I do slipcovers.
Right. By the way, Colton, I was jesting about Alain Delon. I know Alain Delon. Yes. All right. Next up. Oh man. I'm so glad we get to talk about this. August 25th, we get a 4K here in the U.S. from Lionsgate of She Rides Shotgun from last year. Now, before my diatribe, did you get to see She Rides Shotgun? I know you don't get to see a ton of the modern movies. No. Okay, so this is starring Taron Egerton, and the synopsis here says, where can you run when there's nowhere to hide? Taron Egerton stars as Nate, an ex-con on the run in this gritty action thriller. He must protect his 11-year-old daughter, Polly, as they're pursued by unrelenting enemies, including a corrupt sheriff who's also the brutal leader of a criminal gang. As Nate shows Polly how to fight and survive, she teaches him what unconditional love truly means in this intense, moving story about loyalty, strength, and redemption. She Rides Shotgun is a modern frickin' masterpiece. And I do say that knowing that I'm literally going way harder. It's like a really solid 4 to 4.5 for most people. It is a shockingly incredible movie. For a modern thriller starring Taron Egerton, who to me is like if somebody made rice purposefully in just water and then did not put any seasoning on top of it and said, spicy. That's Taron Egerton. But he is so great in this movie, and the storyline is fantastic. The only thing that loses me is there's a couple really obviously like logic failures in the third act that sort of make the story fall apart if you know anything about law enforcement. That being said, it is so very good. I believe this one, I don't remember his name. I think the director is Nick Rowland.
Yeah. Yes.
It is so well made. And the big thing here, Anna Sophia Hager, who plays Polly, the 11-year-old, she is so great as this child that is clearly somebody that has seen too many things and putting on a brave face in situations that does not need to be in and should not be in at her age. But my goodness, watch the movie. It is so great. And I'm just shocked that this is getting a physical release at all because it's Lionsgate, first of all. But second of all, nobody went out and saw this in the theater. This did so little money. And movies that are bigger than this are getting passed up for physical media. And so for this to be getting one from Lionsgate, I'm just so grateful that I get to get a pressed disc of this movie, let alone on 4K. That is shocking to me. This is like, I'm poor. I don't have a paying job right now. This is like a pre-order. Please save up my Amazon pennies and get this thing bought because I need this movie.
Yeah. Cool.
So great.
Hard sell. Love it.
All right. Next up, Batman Nightfall. We had talked about this one previously. This is only part 1 of Batman Nightfall. Getting a 4K Blu-ray and DVD release on September 8th. They are getting a bunch of featurettes on here. There's Breaking the Bat, Adapting the Nightfall, going behind the scenes. They talk about the many incarnations of Robin and his role there, and the filmmakers talking about that. Not a lot on the discs, but man, some of the modern DC animation is some of the best in this world if you're into that sort of thing. I love the art style on here. It looks freaking great. Kelly Jones is just superb. Yeah, I'm a Batman guy. How do you feel about this?
Okay, so I am not into superheroes at all, but I am into Batman, all incarnations of Batman, and I have watched almost all of the animated Batman features that are out there to watch up to date. So yes, I'm super excited about this. I don't know what it is about Batman. I mean, it's probably, I went and saw the Keaton Batman in theaters, on opening weekend when I was a little kid. And so, Batman's always been my guy. So yeah, love it. Love it. I always love these animated ones.
Yeah. It's great. I don't know. Next up, we've got an Amazon exclusive 4K and Blu-ray dual format steelbook coming from Alliance of Masters of the Universe, the new Masters of the Universe from this year. I've not seen it. Is this one that you made a priority?
Oh yeah, totally.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
hit us with
Steelbook.
it.
I mean, Steelbook. My God, day one. Wow, come on.
Worth it?
Yeah, just watch it on streaming. It's 2.5 hours. My God, watch it like in time and a half too. Jesus, don't do that. I'm kidding.
I don't know. I've heard good and bad. Good and bad. Next up, man, this one was a bit of a surprise too. August 25th, we've got a 4K coming of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, from just a couple years ago in 2023. This thing is such an interesting rollout. So this movie got great reviews at the time. A lot of people very happy with it. It supposedly did semi-decently. Obviously, it is a bit of a feel-good movie, and it got a rollout at the time. Got a Blu-ray release, nothing crazy. Kind of odd for Lionsgate to go back to the well on a 4K. But what's interesting here, there was a Walmart exclusive Blu-ray that very few people got that had an exclusive disc of special features, and they're all on this 4K. And I like that they did that. I like that we have access to those features. I like that this movie's done well enough that we could get a 4K. Of course, I wish that they had done this to begin with, but this is exciting to me that stuff like this is getting righted. Yeah. And now if you never get a chance to pick this up, or if you in the last couple of years discovered it on streaming and went, I really like that. Now you had a chance to get a shockingly decent release for this.
Yeah, that's great. I never watched it, but it it sounded great. I'm a huge McAdams fan, love her to death. Have since the early days of her career. So, and I mean, come on, Kathy Bates is incredible. So yeah, this was another one where I was like, had to do a double take. Are we really doing this?
Yeah.
Which was a good question. Which was like, wow, we're really doing this. That's great.
Yep. It's supposed to be good. AKB. This is an interesting choice, but I'm glad they're doing it. We've got a release date, September 8th, 4K Steelbook Standard, 4K Blu-ray and DVD of Supergirl, the movie that every red hat loves to hate. Did you get to see Supergirl this year?
No.
Me neither. Did not rush out to see this. Not that I'm against it. I certainly wanted to see it. Just I don't have time anymore. We've got a Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos release of this. We've got a making of on here, Flying Off the Page, Space is a Bad Neighborhood Babe, A Practical Legacy, all kinds of featurettes here. We got no commentary. I know I saw at least one person that was asking for that. Not seen this, but man, I did see all kinds of comments of people hating this that didn't even watch it. And that is the world that I don't love living in. I do not understand this discourse where everybody just hates things before they give it a chance. Sure, the movie, it technically lost money and failed in theaters in their minds, but it's also just a concerted effort because it's a woman and people don't like that.
Right. Okay. Real stupid question coming up here from this guy on the Blu-ray show. The Dolby Atmos audio track.
Yes.
Do you have to have like a special something to hear that, or is that just automatically the audio track that comes with the disc?
It does come with the disc, but to get the actual Atmos, you do have to have a specific setup, including very specific speakers. So Atmos is literally a 7.1.2 setup where you've got 2 in the ceiling as well. And so if you've got that setup and you've got a system that supports Atmos, you do get that.
Great. Okay. I'll never have that.
I probably won't either. I wish I did.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I mean, I think about that all the time with as many movies as I watch. Like, how great would it be to fucking hear some of this from like behind me? But
yeah,
I don't even have space in our tiny house for that type of shit. So, anyways,
yeah, the amount of movies that I have genuinely got home and felt if I had not seen that in a theater first, I probably would not have appreciated as much because of the sound.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Makes me so sad that I don't have that capability with some of these that are just incredibly well mixed.
Absolutely. Yes. I 100% agree with you.
And Cinema Force just upgraded to Atmos. Congrats. I'm happy for you. Not jealous at all. Yeah, I wish I could. And yeah, I probably should have said that. Thanks, Eddie. If you've got a 5.1 and the disc has Atmos, it automatically goes down to 5.1. If you only have a sound bar, that's 2.1. It goes down to that. If you don't have a soundboard, it's just TV, you get stereo. If you play off a CRT and it's just mono. Good. I'm sorry.
That's what I have. I'm joking. I have a sound bar. Living it up here.
That is even higher than I have right now, which is really sad.
Sometimes our sound bar doesn't connect, so a lot of times it's just TV speakers. No, whatever. I'm just happy to watch a movie.
I mean, honestly, same.
Yeah.
All right. Next, another movie that came out this year, Leviticus, getting a Blu-ray on September 8th. This is coming from Decal. This will have a commentary with the director, Adrian Chiarella. We got an interview with Adrian Chiarella. We got an interview with Stacey Clausen and Joe Bird, the two leads that are on the cover here, and a making of Leviticus. I got to see this at a festival this year. Did you get to see this?
Not yet, but when you were on... Was it on our show? I can't remember. We were talking. That you had seen, or maybe it was just us talking at some point. Because you had seen this, you had seen Obsession and Hokum, I think.
Those were the three big ones, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean.
Oh, and the Furious. That was the other fourth one from that same festival.
So the Leviticus. Yeah, it was after the festival. That's what it was. Leviticus is the one I haven't seen yet.
So this one, basically everybody is calling it just like Queer It Follows, which I totally get the recommendation to ping in people's minds, but it is a lot more than that. And funny enough, it goes very, very well with our conversation tonight. So if you've not seen it, it is worth watching with the mindset of religion and approaching it for an empathetic mindset.
I assumed from the title of the film, since it's one of the books of the Bible.
Oh, nice. One of the ones that they like to ignore, though.
No, it's the ones that they're like, gay people, bad, Leviticus. Read it.
But then they say it doesn't exist because it's a new... Anyways, we don't need to talk about the new gospel anyways. All right. Speaking of things that we're talking about tonight, Jesus Christ, Superstar. Oh, you like that transition.
I love it.
No, they don't like transitions. September 29th.
Jesus does, though.
Supposedly. Never mind. This is going to get bad quickly. We got a 4K and Blu-ray dual format release coming from Kino of Jesus Christ Superstar from 1973. The movie that was everywhere for a while that a lot of people don't remember was directed by Norman Jewison.
Yep.
Really well made. This is actually really great. Purposefully left this off my list tonight. Could have been one that I brought on. But this gets a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master from a 4K scan of the OCN. It's got a 2026 audio mix by the musician and engineer Brian Cahew. Mixture of classic albums by Sly Stone, Black Sabbath, Aretha Franklin, Yes, Fleetwood Mac, Talking Heads, Madonna, and the soundtrack for Woodstock. We get a commentary by Norman Jewison and Ted Neely that was done in the past. We get a new commentary by Gary Garani, another new commentary by Simon Abrams, newly mixed 5.1 surround and lossless version of this, and a Blu-ray with all of those extras, plus interview with the lyricist Tim Rice, a trailer, a couple others. Strongly recommend this movie if you've never seen it. Any thoughts, sir?
Oh, God, it's so good. Love it. But it also made me sad when this was announced because you know who would have done a commentary for this, Mr. Lee Gavin.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, God, dude. And Jewison is he is like a sneaky, masterful director. You look at his filmography and you're like, holy shit, look at all these incredible masterpieces he directed. Yeah, he's so good at directing musicals too. Because this Fiddler, they're so well directed. You could tell he was he was in a theater mindset. So, anyways, it's great, man. Love this movie. Love the musical. It's all good.
He has one of those filmographies that you read 12 movies, and every single time you're like, wait, he directed that?
Exactly.
How? And I don't understand how his name is not associated with half of the major films in his filmography.
Seriously. Right. Moonstruck, right? Norman Jewison, director of In the Heat of the Night. Norman Jewison, director of Moonstruck, Jesus Christ Superstar, Fiddler on the Roof. Like, it's crazy.
Every single time.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Kino putting out Gridlocked from 1997. Yes, the same company putting out Jesus Christ Superstar, putting out Tupac in Tim Roth's Gridlocked. Never seen this. Written and directed by Vondi Curtis Hall with Tim Roth from a 4K scan of the OCN on this one. I respect the hell out of some Tupac. Have you seen Gridlocked?
You know what? I have back in 97 or 98 when I was in high school. But I remember almost nothing about it. Because we were, I mean, you know, God, Midwestern white kids in Nebraska or Iowa. It's like, oh, Tupac, you know, we're so street. But, you know, and I think it was probably, so this is after Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
And so that's how Tim Roth was on my radar. So I think that was, you know, it was probably like Tupac and then, the dude from Reservoir Dogs. Yeah. So, but I remember almost nothing about it.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this. Also has Tandy Newton. Yeah, looks great. Another one that's great. In the Name of the Father, coming on 4K from Kino someday. We don't have a date or anything like that. Brand new HDR Dolby Vision master on this one. This is a Jim Sheridan film. Very similar, actually, to the way that we spoke on The Killing Fields earlier. This was released in a really wonderful Jim Sheridan box set from Imprint a couple years ago. Great movie. Very Irish film. In the Name of the Father, any thoughts?
I haven't seen it since probably I was in high school again because I think my mom had showed it to me. But I am fascinated. Well, Ryan, we can talk.
Give her near credit for this. That's it.
Okay. I am fascinated by the Troubles in you know, Ireland and England, mainly Northern Ireland, and so you know, movies based around, talked about the Troubles. I'm always, you know, like just today I watched Bloody Sunday from Peter Greenway. So yeah, and you know, DDL, man, he's one of the greatest.
How do you say anything else about Daniel? Like, come on. And then, I mean, even Emma Thompson, also just freaking brilliant.
Yep.
All right. Next up on our list, we still got a lot to cover. I'll skip right over this one. Arrow sale at Barnes & Noble. This is going on until August 30th. You shop in the Arrow sale?
I was going to, because I wanted to get that movie right there. It's not 50% off. It's 30% off. What the fuck?
I think this is a very open and shut case about false advertising, but I'm not going to say that too loud. Oh, wait, I'm public. I love this movie. I definitely have the UK 4K, so I don't need it, but I did feel bad promoting this, and then everybody was like, is it not on sale? What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on sale, but not the same way. Either way, I love this movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a big Arrow fan. I usually, when I get Arrow, I usually like shop the Easter Massacre. Like, I usually get the UK stuff.
Smart.
Because it's, even with the shipping and everything, it usually comes out to be cheaper than even a 50% off sale.
I think if you're buying more than like 4, usually that's the way to go.
Yep.
All right. Next, Paramount coming out with the catalog titles. October 6th, we get a 4K and Blu-ray dual format steelbook of Pet Sematary. This one is coming out it's October. Of course, they're going to do something horror. But the big thing here, the original poster art on the front, which is not something we see associated with Pet Sematary much anymore. Glad this is getting that art, but I don't need a steelbook necessarily. As far as new discs, there's nothing new on this one. I like the movie. I've never loved this movie as seemingly a bunch of Stephen King fans. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, same. Like, you know, this was kinder trauma, right? For us when we were kids, the Gage's funeral, not his death, but the funeral where they're fighting, where grandpa and dad are fighting, and they knock over the casket and Gage's hand pops out. Like, that's what traumatized me about this movie. So revisiting it probably after 20 years, 30 years, when I rewatched it, a few years ago, it was still like, oh my God. So it still kind of had the same effect. It's Herman Munster is his main accent is quite pronounced here, very cartoonish, but it's still a fun movie. Again, Steelbook, hard pass.
I just want to make Herman Munster jokes all night now. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Next up, November 10th, 4K of Memoirs of a Geisha. Also a Blu-ray coming in this package, but this thankfully has no controversies associated with it in any way. We got a new 4K master of this, Dolby Vision HDR, including a Dolby Atmos soundtrack. How do you feel about this one?
It was such a big thing when it came out, but then, and even back in 2005, I didn't really realize who the director was, and then later on, I'm like, why, Rob? I can't even remember his fucking last name. I was like, oh my God! So I haven't even seen the movie because of that. I remember when it first was announced, I'm like, I want to see this, but now I'm like, oh no, I don't want to see this.
Yeah, I know I saw this way back when. It was like 2007. Because I did the same thing at first when it came out. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I want to watch it because I think I just seen like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and realized that Asians exist basically when I was younger. And then this movie came out, and I was like, oh, that looks intriguing. And then there was like some blowback, and then I was like, well, let's wait. Watched it a couple years later. I don't remember a whole bunch about it, but man, this one's an odd trajectory. Do some research on the film first, at least.
Yeah.
Next, something that I will absolutely be pre-ordering. October 30th, we are getting so many releases to celebrate the wonderful 40-year anniversary of Queen in Budapest. This is getting a 4K release, a Blu-ray release, a DVD release, a vinyl release, and a CD release from Sony. Sony is doing all of these. There is an attached performance here of Radio Gaga that I was like, you know what? They released a brand new thing to promote it. Let me watch it for like 20 seconds or so just to make sure the restoration looks okay before I promote it. Suddenly, the whole like 5.5-minute video is over, and I'm suddenly going back onto Apple Music, putting up some Queen songs, and that was the rest of my day. And I'm realizing again how much I adore Freddie Mercury and everything Queen. And I just cannot wait to own this and see this entire performance in 4K. The track list on this is incredible. Queen was such a huge portion of my life. The restoration, at least on YouTube, it does look very good. It probably was scrubbed at least a little bit of some grain, but it looks close enough. It also, they didn't change the aspect ratio on it. It's still 4:3. It does look kind of incredible.
Nice.
The sound alone on Radio Gaga sounded fan-damn-tastic. Cannot wait on this. I could gush about this for a long time, but Queen was my band when I was younger, and it will always be there for me. Any thoughts on Queen?
Absolutely hate Queen.
I knew that was coming the moment I said that.
Just hate Queen. Love Freddie Mercury, though. I think his contributions to queer people and like being a visible queer person was very important. But fucking hate Queen so much.
Oh, my heart has been crushed yet again. Check it out if you're into it. Love everything about this. Cannot wait. Mondo Macabro has their next round of pre-orders happening, and this will be happening in August, and they are shipping in August, and isn't that amazing? So in August, we are getting these in the last week of August. We got Blu-rays coming on all three. We've got 3 titles here that most of us have never heard of. So we've got Memoria, a.k.a. Beast Don't Look in the Mirror from 1976. This is a rare Spanish science fiction film set in the far-off future of the year 2000. And this sounds super interesting. It is Spanish language with optional English subs. Brand new 5K restoration from the OCN. We've got an interview with the director's daughter, interview with the photographer, Manel Moutener. We've got an interview with the film historian, Jordi Artigas, and then an interview with Angel Sala from Sitges. The limited edition red case release will have a 24-page full-color booklet with a new essay by Ishmael Fernandez, who does all of their Spanish features. We got a set of 4 double-sided postcards, reversible sleeve with new art by Justin Coffey, and this looks super fun. Mondo Macabro, have we talked about Mondo much? Do you got anything from them?
I don't have anything from Mondo, but I'm always fascinated by their releases. I love what they do.
They are so incredibly curated and just off the wall.
Yes. And like I love a label that I say it all the time with like Vinegar Syndrome. It's hard to blind buy for me, like just stuff that is probably going to be absolute trash from Vinegar Syndrome. But I never feel that way with Mondo. Because I don't know, it seems a little. I mean, this clearly is going to be a trash movie, but it looks pretty fucking good, right?
What's funny is I actually would push back against that. I'd almost say most of the films in the Mondo Macabro library are better than most of the Vinegar Syndrome films.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I hear you, but even as saying this is going to be a trash movie, I don't even think it is. A lot of them are so much better than I don't know. They conjure 2 different feelings for sure.
Sure. Yeah. So I love the work that Mondo does.
Good. Next up from them is The Satin Spider. This one is from 1986, and it takes place in 1921 in an exclusive girls' school on the outskirts of Paris, run by the eccentric Madame de Cheyenne. Sexual perversion, morphine addiction, and murderous madness are on the curriculum, which means this will be on many people's order sheets. This is region-free. It's got French language with optional English subtitles, new restoration from the OCN, memories and analysis. Crew and critics discuss the film, and then a look at the career of Jacques Baratier. We got a 20-page full-color booklet, reversible sleeve with new art by Justin Coffey, and then we've got 1,000 numbered copies in the usual red case. Very, very interesting.
She's creeping me out right now. Move on.
Okay, moving on.
So oh my god, she's like go to the other slide. Like she looks so freaking scary, dude.
Is that better?
No. God.
She's staring into your soul.
Seriously, Jesus.
This one, though, is the most exciting for me.
Yeah.
I am quite intrigued by this one. So this one says it's from 1998, and it is called Bo Ba Boo. This says the opening shot is mysterious. A face covered by a mask made out of raw canvas with 2 slits for the eyes, a windblown desert, the scorching sun. It is hard to tell whether this is prehistoric time or the future after an apocalypse. Then the on-screen caption, 11,000 kilometers from New York, and the sound of a supersonic jet somewhere in the sky. A pale-skinned blonde woman appears in the desert, confused, disoriented, and covered in bandages and blood. She's discovered by a wandering shepherd who takes her back to the farm where he lives with his son. The man is called Bo, and his son is Boo. They call the woman Ba. The man, and a kind of savage, worldless fairy tale is enacted between them. A classic menage a trois, but set in a timeless, eternal landscape of sand and stars, where the sudden appearance of a jeep shocks us into realizing this is the late 20th century. This one is an Uzbekistan film director making this, and the producer is there as well. He is best known for his works in the 1960s and 70s, such as the Eastern Western The Seventh Bullet, made over 30 documentaries and more than 20 feature films, currently lives in Italy. Bo Ba Boo was a controversial film and has never been released theatrically. This is its world premiere on disc, which means, like, nobody's seen this.
Right.
This is insanity.
Yeah.
So, region-free disc, brand new restoration from the OCN, interview with the writer-director, interview with the actress Ariel Dumbasol, audio commentary by Daniel Bird, 16-page booklet with a new essay by Daniel Bird, reversible sleeve. Like, this is the kind of thing that is just so incredible that they're able to rescue things like this. And it just, whoops, did not mean to highlight that, meant to go back here. This looks fantastic. I cannot wait for this.
This is a perfect example of what I was just saying. Like, this sounds like clearly not trash, but like, I don't know, man, like so interesting. And also like, so is this an Uzbekistani film?
Yep.
Right? Like, who the fuck has seen, I mean, I haven't. I'm sure people have, but I haven't seen an Uzbekistani film. It's crazy.
Just Pete Toombs from Mondo. That's it.
Right.
That's the only person. All right. So that is everything Mondo Macabro. The pre-orders for these are going live Friday, August 7th at 9 a.m. Pacific. So check out where that is. That's 12 Eastern. You can get that at mondomacabro.bigcartel.com. I'll be there at 9 a.m. Pacific to see what the prices are. There will be a bundle for all three. I'm super into it. I'm also super poor, so I will check what I can do. But God, this looks like a really fun drop for them. And also, like, none of them are things that I've heard of at all. And that's always exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
Just a reminder, because I have to do it. I hate marketing, but my God, we're opening a freaking video store here in Kansas City with Deaf Crocodile and Antenna partnering together. Yes, we did meet our first goal, but we do have more goals that we're trying to reach. Goal number 2 is $20,000. That's going to be able to get us a couple doors and some drop ceiling repair. We're trying to work our way to about $50,000. It's a lofty goal, but we do have until the end of August. If you find it in your heart, we do have some new things that were added on there. There will be some new stuff added on Monday, and I've seen the new one of the new t-shirt ideas that Antenna is putting up there on Monday. I guess I just spoiled it's a t-shirt, but it's going to be really cool. So if you're looking for that, you'll be able to add that on. But don't worry, if you've already pledged or you want to pledge again or whatever, that will be an add-on, so you can throw that in there. Again, it's a t-shirt, but it's a like a PBS style drive, so it's going to be a slightly higher price because we're trying to raise money to be able to do some stuff with it. So check out the Kickstarter if you can. I still can't believe that I'm promoting that we're opening a video store. Life is weird. It's exciting, but also we need some help if you got some time and some extra dosh. So we appreciate it. My God, I'm so glad that we get to talk about this. November 11th in Australia, Umbrella is releasing a mixture of 4K and Blu-ray of Alejandro Jodorowsky Collector's Edition. This covers the films of his from 1968 to 2013, and that is literally all of them. A director's complete box set, which is always exciting. You've got everything. Restorations personally overseen by Jodorowsky. This is the first collection of its kind, bringing all of it together in one set. That being said, you can only purchase this to be shipped to you right now if you're in New Zealand or Australia, but there are a couple places that are taking some orders if you're elsewhere, like Dead End DVD, I think is what it's called, in Australia. But we got some Australian friends in the chat. Maybe some people would be willing to help put together a group buy or something, because this looks pretty incredible. The fact that it's not shipping to the US, that doesn't mean that somebody else is releasing it here, but that could be what that means. It also just could mean that the rights holders don't want it shipped here. It's very, very questionable what that will mean literally, because both are quite feasible. The rights for this have been a bit of a toss-up in the past. But the big exciting thing here, so we've got like Tusk, the director's cut from 1980, which has not been available widely before. We've got the Rainbow Thief director's cut, which has not been available widely before. New extras on all of this, a 100-plus page hardbound book, including essays from all kinds of critics. There are no commentaries from Jodorowsky in the first 3, which I know is a problem for some people, but it is a very loaded box set. Every single disc is kind of crazy. You do get every film on Blu-ray at the very least, and you do have a few of them on 4K. It's just a wild mix of releases, and some of these have a ton of new extras. You also get something that's really fun here. You get Hodorowski's Dune as the 14th disc on here, the documentary, including some new extras on that. Love that they're doing this. Thoughts on Hodorowski, sir?
Dude's a weirdo.
Yes.
Makes super weird movies. And endlessly fascinating. We covered what did we covered not the Holy Mountain, but El Topo in the first book. Yep. And that was my first Hodorowski, and then I watched Holy Mountain, and then I watched The Rainbow Thief out of all the other, so like I haven't seen anything besides those three. Not a huge Rainbow Thief fan, I'll be honest. But I love like El Topo, Holy Mountain. I bet I would love Santa Sangre. Like I love just the weirdness of it, because it's like we're witnessing a true artist just put his vision out there for the world to see, and not necessarily for the world to understand. He's just putting his art out there, and that's like incredibly inspiring to me. I
adore Santa Sangre and have not seen literally anything else from him. That is my admission time. El Topo has been high on my list for quite some time. Arrow did release some of the big ones in a little box set before in the UK, and then they partnered with, I think it's ABKCO to release the one in the US. They're basically identical releases.
Oh, got it, yeah.
But I believe that has been the holdup in the US. ABKCO is like quite stringent with the rights in the US, I believe. So this is just, I don't know. I don't think people understand sometimes from the outside perspective how impossible it is to get everybody to say, sure, you can put out an entire filmography in one congealing box set together. So even like the Kubrick set, which everybody is fawning over, which is, I agree, it's incredible. The fact that Criterion is able to do that is legendary. The fact that they're able to do that for this might be a little more shocking, and I don't know how some people are pulling it off. This is crazy. It is certainly one of my dreams to pull off an entire director's box set with Antenna, but God, seeing stuff like this happen, it is inspiring to say the least, but also, God, give it some grace and thought, especially when you look into the price. This is 14 discs, some 4K, some Blu-ray. It's $200 to $250 US, something like that. And that's a lot of money, but also this is such an achievement that doesn't feel like hardly anything to spend on this.
But I mean, like, it's the way that I would always justify it to my wife, it's like, okay, we're going to spend like when the Bergman set, she bought that for me and she's like, oh my God, it's so expensive. And I'm like, well, it comes with so many fucking, like, all of his movies. And so like, right. And then for Bobby, like, if I break it down and be like, okay, so we're going to do the Hodorowski box set. It's $250 and we're going to divide that by 14, $17 a disc.
Right.
Like, that is how my mind works, and I'm sure that's how a lot of collectors' minds work. Pretty fucking worth it. Real bummer that his stuff has been super weird though to like get over here.
Yeah,
which has been really interesting and kind of in line with Hodorowski, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I believe in his ripe old age, I believe he's claiming to be working on a new film, which is exciting and worrying and like, okay. But the dude's like 94 now or something like that. Okay, sure. Eastwood retired. I hope you can get it out if you really want to. But my goodness, also rest.
Yeah,
rest.
Right.
You done good. All right. Next from Umbrella is another exciting one. November 11th, they're also releasing a Blu-ray of MPD Psycho from 2000. the Takashi Miike complete mini-series. This is adapted from the hit manga series and directed by genre master Takashi Miike. It is a subversive Y2K fever nightmare from 2000. We've got Yosuke Kobayashi, a detective assigned to a homicide unit, saw his wife killed by a serial killer, Shinji Nishizono. From a shock, he suffered MPD, which is multiple personality disorder, and became Kazuhiko Amamiya after he managed to hunt down and kill the murderer of his wife. A new series of murders have occurred, and the suspects claim to be Shinji Nishizono himself. Is it really him or a copycat? And who is Kazuhiko Amamiya? At once violent, disturbing, surrealist, stylish, and comedic, the series is a must-see for J-horror and Miike fans. This is going to have a 48-page book with behind-the-scenes material and essays. We've got new extras on this, including an interview with the manga creator and writer Eiji Otsuka, new reflecting on Miike filmmakers Addison Heath and Jasmine Jacoupy on a horror icon, plus all 6 episodes. Love that they're putting this out. I hope this is uncensored. I believe the DVD of this that was out years ago was censored, but I just love that Miike is getting more love right now. He does have a shit ton of stuff still to release. So as much as I love that he's getting more love, a lot of the stuff that has never been put out, I just wish somebody would get some of that out there.
Right. Well, yeah, with a filmography of, over 100 films.
And that's just from last year, yeah.
Right. From and then fuck TV, yeah.
Yeah.
Give it time. I would love to see over time. Man, we talk about an entire filmography, but Jesus, dude. Like not everything I've seen from Miike is good. It's interesting though. I haven't seen a boring Miike film.
No, God, I don't even know that that's possible.
Yeah, right.
Josh says there is no uncensored version of MPD Psycho. Is that? Are we just talking about the pixelation? That's not a word. Pixelization? Maybe that's not a word. I don't know. I'm tired.
I think it's pixelation.
Okay, I was right the first time. I don't know.
Can't see those pubes in Japan, apparently.
Once again, trying to have a conversation with just Josh.
One person.
Miike will be the next box set challenge for distributors, and it will need to be like 3 shelves. Literally, you'll need a pallet delivered. It's hard coded because it was shot for TV. Got it.
How heavy would that box set be?
Are we talking philosophically or?
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, the free shipping on that Umbrella would be like no. All right, we go from Takashi Miike to the most spicy American filmmaker at present, Taylor Sheridan. October 6th, we're getting a Blu-ray and DVD release of The Madison Season 1, starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell. Another Taylor Sheridan Yellowstone universe type of film, I believe. Don't know anything about this one. Michelle Pfeiffer, love her to bits. She's pretty talented.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
That's all I got. I got nothing.
Yeah. Moving on. Imprint, also in Australia, announced some titles this week. These are coming on September 30th. All of them on Blu-ray. First is And Then There Were None, a.k.a. 10 Little Indians from 1974. This one is going to have a new audio commentary by Dr. Mark Aldridge. It's got some archival extras in it. And I love this book. Some of the adaptations for this are pretty decent. Any thoughts on this?
Love this movie. Love the book. That's it.
Thoughts? I like it.
Yeah. Thoughts.
Weirdest title of the week award, maybe?
Only When I Larf?
Only When I Larf from 1968. Maybe the most British title ever conceived.
I hate it when
I really want to Cockney accent this one up like crazy. This is a first time ever on Blu-ray. This is with David Hemmings, Richard Attenborough, and Basil Dearden. New audio commentary on this by Matthew Asprey Gear. Only When I Larf.
That's Laugh. Did you know that?
It is Laugh, yeah. And that's, you want to go very Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. Only When I Larf.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I love it when I larf then. I need to larf more in my life.
RFV is saying the R is silent.
Only when I
Laugh.
Only when I laugh.
Is it
Okay.
Lav? Craig says, "Is that sharding when you laugh?" Oh boy. Next up, then, it's a very British month, by the way. What a Lovely War is their next title. This one from 1969, also with Richard Attenborough. This one is a satirical musical take on the First World War. The thing that you always think of when you're thinking of laughs and music. This has a new audio commentary by Daniel Kramer on it, and then some archival extras, including an audio commentary by Richard Attenborough. Any thoughts on Oh, What a Lovely War? Have you seen this one?
I larfed a lot when I saw it.
Did you wipe after? Oh boy. Yeah. Next up, The Strange Affair. This one, Michael York, Jeremy Kemp, and Susan George star in The Strange Affair, crime drama from David Green. This one has no new extras. We get a couple featurettes on this. Yeah, never seen this one.
Neither have I, but I love David Green.
I do like the cover on this one too. Very minimalist, but very interesting.
It's cool. Yeah.
And then All Coppers Are from 1972, also coming out on Blu-ray from them. This is coming on September 30th. Director Sidney Hayers helmed this fascinating glimpse of Britain at the turn of the decade with stars Martin Potter, Julia Foster, and Nicky Henson. Joe is a young married copper in Battersea, grinding through long shifts and a joyless home life when he finds himself drawn to Sue, the girlfriend of Barry, a charming small-time crook he encounters on his beat. As Joe and Barry circle each other, each aware of the other's interest in Sue, the line between the law and lawlessness begins to blur in ways neither man anticipated. Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting, at least. We got a new piece from Matthew Sweet on All Coppers Are, some archival interviews, and that is it. Very British.
Yeah.
Very British.
Sounds very British, yes. Although the sleeve font is very lensy,
Giallo, yeah.
right? Giallo.
Giallo and a little bit of Polizio Tesci.
Yeah, Polizio Tecci, for sure, yes.
Quite. Yeah, I mean, even that style even screams
Like,
Italy crime drama.
Oh, I guess it's not. All right, never mind.
All right. Evil Dead Burn from this year got its release date. That is September 22nd, getting the standard 4K. There's the Blu-ray, and then this US Steelbook. This is all coming from Warner Brothers. We got Dolby Vision HDR, Dolby Atmos. We've got Sebastian Vanacek, the director, and his crew exploring how Evil Dead Burn honors the franchise's evolving legacy. They dive into Evil Dead Burn's most gripping scene, the one shot that happens in the house, as cast and crew detail the intense focus and synergy required to create it. There's exploring the fire-fueled chaos of Evil Dead Burn by witnessing how the stunts and effects teams brought the film's physical horror to life through a shit ton of CGI that looked awful. Evil Dead Burn, did you get to see that one?
Not yet, but I want to.
Yeah, I didn't love it. This is a franchise that I've really enjoyed most of them, and I don't know, something just missed the mark for me on this one. But it is certainly worth a watch.
Yeah, it has been polarizing.
Yeah,
But
polarizing to say the least.
I feel like, I don't know, in times like that, I tend to enjoy what the thing that people are not, for whatever reason.
I get that, and I don't know. To me, I guess the big thing here is it was the first of the Evil Dead films that I felt was really banging over its head about some sort of like in-your-face metaphor, and it was just the entire time domestic violence bad, which okay, that's not controversial, and I don't know. It felt very New French Extremity, but missing what made that movement important politically.
Yeah.
And trying to substitute domestic violence bad for the harrowing politics of Europe and France specifically. It's not a one-to-one combination.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't translate the same. Sure.
All right. Next up. Interview with the Vampire from 1994, a movie with a lot of very big fans. I've never been one of those. I've always felt this was very, very fine. Coming on 4K on September 22nd. This is the standard 4K. Here is the Steelbook, which I can't believe you have Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in a film together, and you don't put both of them on the Steelbook. That is an odd choice here. This does have 2 new featurettes here, Eternal Night and Deadly Light, and then Interview with the Vampire, Creating the World. How do you feel about Interview with the Vampire?
You know, it's it was your mother's vampire movie from the 90s.
That's true. It definitely was.
And, you know, that's the second case. I prefer the gayest Tom Cruise movie, to be honest, over this. Yeah, you know, it is. It's very fine. It's really hard to get over, like, these guys trying to talk with their dentures in, you know. It's like, oh God, technology has come so much further that people can actually speak well with fake fangs in now. But listening to these guys, it's like, how much spittle is coming out.
Right. Well, and lots of fans in the chat. And yeah, honestly, I think Neil Jordan is probably the best part of this movie.
Yes, Neil Jordan does rule.
Kirsten Dunst, pretty good in this.
Yep.
Very fine movie.
Very fine movie.
We got a couple Kickstarters to talk about. Nevermore Productions is putting out The Eye from Beyond. This is a Kickstarter campaign of a movie that they're making. It's the story of a terror that falls from the sky upon the little sleepy town of Creek Hills during the weekend of the 4th of July. A threat that mutates everything it touches and turns the animals, people, and insects into blood-ravaging alien mutants. And this began on the set of the movie The Barn Part 3. They were making a fake movie for that movie that takes place within that film. They shot this with Felissa and William Ragsdale and had so much fun that they said, let's make this the next movie. And so they're trying to make it. Felissa Rose will be in it. She's also producing the film, and you can get a Blu-ray as a part of the Kickstarter. Check it out. And then the next one, Robbie Smith, the former band member for the super heavy band Heavy Heavy Low Low, has launched an Indiegogo campaign for his new found footage horror movie called Crushers. This is about a quiet southern town where 2 meticulous killers move unseen. Each lives a double life, each certain they are alone. She is precise and performative, curating her crimes like art. He is systematic and obsessive, archiving every detail with objective detachment. Both document everything: the stalking, the rituals, the aftermath, private chronicles of violence no one else is meant to see. But when they stumble upon traces of each other's work, fascination replaces anxiety. What begins as curiosity turns into full-blown intrusion as they start to mimic, disrupt, and challenge one another in the background. That sounds pretty interesting to me. That is an interesting way to approach found footage. So quite curious on this one. There's a Blu-ray and VHS that you can get as part of the campaign. Any thoughts on indie horror? Have you backed any of these Kickstarters before like this?
You know, I never have. But I am all, you know, this is people putting themselves out there. And I mean, gosh, you know, as well as anyone doing that, right? Putting out a campaign, raising funds, and you know, I think it's great. I love seeing artists get out there and try to make their thing, because making your thing is not free. Like, unfortunately, it costs money, and making films costs quite a bit of money. I think more money than people expect, even indie films.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this sounded so interesting.
Very intrigued. Next up, one I'm far less intrigued by. September 15th, we got a Blu-ray coming from 101 Films over in the UK of Nightfall from 2025. This looks like every other action movie that's coming out right now, and nothing about this looks novel to me. Is this your type of movie and I'm just shitting all over it?
No, like, I don't know. It seems like a sort of DTV, movie that doesn't go straight to TV anymore. I've tried. They're not my thing.
Not my thing. Yeah, this one, very, very lost in this one. One I am excited about, though, which I knew that when 88 Films announced this, I did not need to get The Last House on the Left from them because I had the Arrow version, and nothing they could do could get me. And then, God damn it, I feel like they got me. August 24th, we are getting a Blu-ray of Last House on the Left, the original one, the Wes Craven classic, and now, again, it's a Blu-ray, which means a 4K is likely never going to be possible for this one. Elements are likely gone. So if you're holding out for that reason, just keep in mind, if they would have done it, this is when they would have done it. There's no reason they would not have done it. They're obviously paying into this. So check this out. Extras on this. We've got a rigid slipcase, so you got a hard box. We've got a picture booklet in this. And then over 10 hours of new and archival extras. We've got the unrated and R-rated cut on this in HD. We've got new audio commentary by Eugenia Ricolani and Troy Howarth. We've got the archival commentary with David Hess, Mark Scheffler, and Fred Lincoln. New commentary by The Nasty Pasty. We've got new extra here. Man, this is so crazy. Betrayal and Retribution, the spawn of The Last House on the Left. This is a rape and revenge genre-themed feature-length documentary, including contributions from Corinne Clary, Ruggiero Diodato, Abel Ferrara, Zora Kurova, Machamero, Luigi Montefiore, and many more. That's 90 minutes long. New visual essay by Heather Wixon. And then another new one here, Remembering Wes Craven, His Life, Legacy, and Nightmares, a feature-length documentary with contributions from Adrian Barbeau, Michael Berryman, Heather Langenkamp, and Patrick Lussier. An hour and 47 minutes. This is freaking insane.
That's
and then
three movies here.
3 movies, literally. And if you go pre-order this thing on a U.S. retailer in the U.S., it's like $26.
Wow.
It is so inexpensive. This is crazy for one of my favorite directors who's done so many big things. The Wes Craven in Remembrance documentary alone, I definitely want to see that. The Rape Revenge one sounds great. Some of the people involved are people I respect highly.
Yep.
I know I don't need this, but god dang it, the 2 new docs, like I kind of feel like I need this. All of the extras on here, I just want to get rid of the old Arrow one and own this and call it definitive at this point.
Now, okay, can you go back up? Does this port over Bill's commentary? No. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, dude, like I love this movie. It's weird to say you love The Last House on the Left, but it is such a it's not your typical rape revenge movie because she doesn't get the revenge, right? It's the parent. And I think that's what fascinated me the first time I saw this. And so when this was announced, I was in the same boat. I was like, okay, here we go. And then I saw this art today and I was like, fuck me. And hoping, wouldn't it be great if Devin put this out on a t-shirt? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he can't. He won't. But
yeah,
how fucking cool would a t-shirt with that art be?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Good.
It's great art. It's a solid release, and yeah, I do like the remake a lot, Sib. It's not my favorite remake, but it's really great. It has some incredible actors in it too.
Is that Arrow put that out right a couple years ago?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I liked it.
Great movie. All right, next is from Second Run DVD over in the UK. They're putting out The Ritual from 1977. This is coming out September 14th on Blu-ray. Released at the peak of the parallel cinema movement in India, Girish Karasavali's groundbreaking debut feature is a scathing critique of religious hypocrisy. Timely for our conversation tonight. We get The Ritual presented from the new 4K restoration by the Film Heritage Foundation. We get a new filmed interview with the director, a booklet with new writing by Dr. Omar Ahmed, who was behind The Cloud Door that tried to start up last year and sort of stuttered when their Kickstarter unfortunately was not funded. We've got some extra writing on this as well, and then new English subtitle translation. It's a region-free disc, as are I believe like 99% of Second Run discs. You got anything from them? Are you into the parallel cinema movement?
No, to both. But super interesting. I don't even know what the parallel cinema movement is. I'm wondering if Josh would know this movie well.
Undoubtedly, Josh probably does.
Yeah.
It tells the story of a friendship between two outsiders, a young Brahmin boy at a religious school bullied by his peers, and the headmaster's widowed daughter who conceals a secret pregnancy for fear of being ostracized. This sounds incredible.
Very cool.
September 22nd, Universal releasing Girls Like Girls from this year. This is one that I wanted to see. It played in theaters for 18 seconds, and I could not see it. And honestly, wouldn't have had time to see it anyways, even if it played for a month. But I've heard good things and would like to see this at some point.
Cool. Yeah.
More Universal on the way. Waikiki Wedding from 1937 coming on September 22nd. This with Bing Crosby, Bob Burns, Martha Raye, Shirley Ross. Not my thing exactly, and I've never seen this. Is this your era and style of film?
Not at all.
All right. Next up, same day, same Universal, Thunder Bay with James Stewart, Joanne Drew, Gilbert Roland, Dan Duryea. This one, same thing for me. Any thoughts?
Jimmy Stewart, that's a big sell. Never even heard of this. So it's going on the watch list.
This was released by Kino a few years ago, went out of print. I'm just glad Universal's releasing it. But yeah, it feels like a very Kino title.
Oh, yeah.
Next one from Universal on that same day is College Swing with George Burns, Gracie Allen, Martha Raye, Bob Hope, Jackie Coogan. Small town college gets turned upside down when it falls into the hands of the new owner, Gracie, through inheritance. Again, not exactly my thing. Any thoughts?
No, I can't stand Bob Hope. So big turnoff there.
I fully agreed. I've never been into it at all. All right. Rhythm on the Range with Bing Crosby is the next one. Same day. This is from 1936. And if that's not enough, you also get Rhythm on the River from 1940, the follow-up. Also
Basil Rathbone. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Weird.
Yeah.
No. That's a no from me, dog.
I love it. Oh, hilarious. Interesting looking cover art. Not exactly my style of film, but glad it's getting a release. And then we got this one, Land of Wolves, coming on Blu-ray and DVD in the U.S. from Welgo USA on September 1st. Again, looks like I swear, Welgo USA puts out incredible Asian films and then conservative-leaning action films. And this definitely falls into bucket number 2.
Yep, that's no thank you.
Next, The Champion. This one is now available. Somehow missed this. We got a Blu-ray and DVD from them. This is one of their foreign films. This actually looks pretty good. If you're into a boxing film, supposedly really well made. Are you into boxing movies?
Fuck no. I absolutely hate boxing movies. In the trash with slipcovers and steelbooks.
I bought Rocky 2 just to throw it away.
Yeah.
Damn it. Why did I do that?
Oh,
I
no.
apologize.
Everybody close your eyes.
And something went wrong. Spoilers. Spoilers. Let me get this fixed. We'll be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back. All right. We are back. Next is another conservative-leaning action film from Welgo USA from 2026, Man of War with LaMonica Garrett. How many of these copies are you buying?
Bro, like, I'm sorry, but like the American flag on your cover, like immediately I'm like, no.
It's so weird how 10 years ago that was never a red flag.
Right?
And yet now it's a problem.
Dude. That tells me, right, who made this movie. Or funded this movie at least.
It's a good question. Ronnie says that the last movie, The Champion, this is set during the Holocaust, not just a boxing movie. And it does say in 1940, Warsaw, boxing champion Teddy arrives with the first prisoner transport at the newly created Auschwitz concentration camp. During his internment, camp officers force him to fight for their entertainment and for his life. That does sound a bit more harrowing and important than just a boxing movie.
Yes, but it's still a boxing movie.
Yes. All right. Next, been a rough week for John Carney fans as the musician from Once passed away in a shocking out of nowhere, I believe it was a motorcycle crash
accident. Yeah.
obviously Power Ballad's gotten a lot of love this year, but to hear about the accident came kind of out of nowhere, and obviously one that a lot of people have loved. He was an incredible musician. Glenn Hansard is his name. Just shocking. I've not seen Power Ballad yet. I've still not seen Sing Street, still not seen once. I will be seeing all of them.
You know, I haven't seen once. Sing Street is so good. It is so freaking good. Really fun.
I did get the Lionsgate pre-order on that one. I had to get something else, so it made sense to get that to get free shipping.
Yeah,
so.
Nice.
Power Ballad from this year. Did you get to see that one yet?
No.
Is it a I'd like to see it sort of thing because it's John Carney?
Yes. Yeah, not like, straight to the top of the watch list, but, I mean, Paul Rudd too, right?
Yeah.
I love Paul Rudd.
He's great.
Yep.
Of course, Ronnie, of course. Motorcycles just don't. I never will.
Never.
Promise.
God, dude. Oh, so scary.
Well, and I don't know what it is. Like, obviously, I grew up in Southern California. It was a big thing there. A lot of them, they snake in and out of the lanes, and they're legally allowed to do the
Dude, when we were driving there, like all these people on motorcycles would come up like on the stripes and be like, "What are you doing? How dare you?" That's so scary.
So scary. You'll be like in seated traffic and they go by you while you're sat going like 30 miles an hour. Yes. And if they put their hand out, they're going to knock off your mirrors. It's crazy. And then I moved to Kansas City and there's so many deaths that happen every year here due to motorcycles. It's wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, Film Masters. We've not talked about them for a while. They're putting out a special edition. That's one of their lines, so I had to say special edition of a film from 2012, which is kind of rare for Film Masters. They're putting out The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. Now, I read 2012 and I went, what in the hell? That is so weird for them. I go and watch the trailer. This actually looks really fun. It looks super interesting. Creed Bratton from The Office is in this.
Yep.
They've also got Paul Williams in this. I definitely want to see this. It says, banished to Earth for intergalactic juvenile delinquency, Johnny X and his gang of ghastly ones set off in search of a piece of alien technology that could change the fate of the universe forever, the so-called resurrection suit. Soon, the extraterrestrial no-goodniks are embroiled in a wacky scheme involving a femme fatale named Bliss, a shifty concert promoter with schemes of his own, and a recently deceased musician who won't let a little decomposition stop him from rocking. I got to admit, if you use no-goodniks in your copy, I'm probably interested already.
Heather Drain, she was on my show a while ago. We talked about Rocky Horror Picture Show. This was one of her double feature picks with Rocky Horror.
Whoa.
So when Heather puts something on my radar, I take note for sure.
Heather's special. That is absolutely true. So this, I love that you compared to Rocky Horror, and then the first thing, you get a CD with it. You get a soundtrack CD with this one. They also are giving a signed and numbered art card containing a screen-used piece of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. What? That's incredible.
That is cool.
Full-length commentary with the director, the composer, and one of the actresses. We got a making of doc for The Ghastly Love of Johnny X, Q&A with Paul Bunnell, the director and cast of the Texas Theater, liner notes, and a full-color booklet by Anthony Craig Gilbert, and a trailer. This is I'm very intrigued by this for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, one that I'm far less intrigued by.
Oh, really?
Nonetheless intrigued after I did a little bit of research.
Okay.
So this is now out on Blu-ray from Uncorked Entertainment, The Dark Side of Society from 2023. This is a documentary about the movie Society. And it says, Zeph E. Daniel wrote Society, a 1989 movie initially barred from a U.S. release, but soon became a cult classic for its satire and gore. Here we explore how his dark past inspired the script, blending truth with the film's twisted fiction. Now, okay, so first off, a few things. Society was never banned in the U.S. It was never even close to being banned. It just went through the regular MPAA process. That's it. So you're already lying in like the first line of this. The other aspect of this is, from what I'm reading, it is very much leaning into fake made-up conspiracy BS that does not have any bearing on anything. And a lot of people are worried about like did this filmmaker just kind of goad a lot of people from the film to be involved in a documentary to feed into ego trip type of things? I don't know. Like, I'd watch it once, but I would very, very trepidatiously watch this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that all. And I mean, we love Brian Usno. Like, how can you not? So let's not, drag his name through the mud here. So, all right, hard pass on that. Jeez.
Next up, very surprising release. Warner Brothers and Universal teaming together to put out The Thing, The Thing, and The Thing. All three on Blu-ray in a collection. Not ever existing to get all three of these together on a Blu-ray before, so that's kind of cool if you're into it. However, they all, I mean, you do get some bonus features. The Thing has been released on 4K. I say jokingly because the first one has been, but not the first one, the first in the picture. John Carpenter's The Thing has been out on 4K.
Yeah,
great films. I really enjoy two of these. One of these I love, one of these I like a lot, and one of these is pretty good, just not really my type of thing. My type of thing. I realized that afterwards. Any thoughts on The Thing or The Thing or The Thing?
Yeah, I like. I haven't watched the prequel since it came out, but I thought it was fine. I didn't understand all the hate for it. Yeah, John Carpenter's masterpiece. Clearly. Thing from Another World is fun. So yeah, this is a fun triple right here.
And I would say the prequel is overhated. It is
way overhated. Yeah.
It's sure the CGI is not great. The movie itself is pretty well made, and it's an intriguing story. I like it a lot.
Agreed.
Next up, Anderson Entertainment. Anderson Entertainment. So the Jerry Anderson team, they're putting out a 4K steelbook over in the UK on September 13th of Space 1999, the Metamorph from 1976. I don't really get this concept, but they're basically releasing an episode of a TV show on 4K in a steelbook by itself. That being said, I understand that the 4K restoration takes a lot of money, takes a lot of work. That is going to be expensive. And if they were to put them all out together, it would be exorbitantly expensive and nobody would be able to buy them. I can't see spending like $35 for a 4K restoration for one episode of TV.
Yeah.
That's a hard sell for me. But we do have some extras. Restoration for featurette. We got alternative cut of the episode. We've got 50 Years Out of Orbit, 75-minute documentary on here, an audio commentary, a booklet, and some more. Interesting idea. Just an odd sort of thing. I don't know. Supposedly the Jerry Anderson fans are quite feverish. So if that's the case, by all means, support away. That's great.
I am happy for the Jerry Anderson fans.
Well, they're eating well because they also have one more to choose from. You've got Thunderbirds, Atlantic Inferno, and Attack of the Alligators. I do want to say this artwork, for a lot of people, they were screaming AI, and I see why. It's a very specific type of art that is similar to art that you would find spat out by AI. That being said, Anderson has come out and stated that they use a very specific artist, and this is just their style and has been for decades.
Yeah, I believe it.
And you could check that out online. I couldn't find anything immediately on this that screamed AI to me.
Yeah, same.
But I could absolutely see people worrying about that on this. Yeah, check this out. 4K Steelbook again from them. This one, September 28th over in the UK.
Yeah.
And again, lots of extras, restoration featurette, feature-length documentary. Looks decent.
Cool.
Yeah. Nothing else. A couple films coming from Altered Innocence. First one, October 20th, Blu-ray and DVD release. They don't do that for most of them, but DVD of Free at Heart from 2025. This says, in a quiet small town, 16-year-old Sebastian's sheltered world is shattered when Kojia, the mysterious son of his father's late friend, comes to live under his roof. What begins as a distance and unease slowly transforms into an unbreakable bond and a truth neither of them saw coming. But as their connection deepens, the line between friendship and something more begins to blur. Sebastian is swept into the dizzying intensity of first love, one that feels as inevitable as it is forbidden. In a place where secrets don't stay buried, their hidden relationship ignites a scandal that threatens to tear their family apart and exile them from everything they've ever known. From the director Max Hegewald, Free at Heart is a raw, intimate story of love, identity, and the courage it takes to be seen. We do have an interview with the actors and the director, making of featurette trailers, and that is it. I love pretty much everything from Altered Innocence. Any thoughts?
Same. Oh, 100%. More queer movies, more queer filmmakers, and let's get them out into our homes. So God bless Altered Innocence.
And if that's not enough from them, one more called The Cheat.
In A. Nice.
Coming out on September 8th on Blu-ray from them. This is from 1984. And it says, in Bordeaux, a murder investigation tied to a queer club pulls a married police inspector into a dangerous affair with a young, handsome musician who may also be a suspect. As the investigation deepens, his involvement with the suspect begins to strain his marriage and blur the boundaries between his professional and private life. This sounds great.
Yeah.
Newly restored in HD for its first major U.S. release ever, the film remains a striking entry in queer French cinema, and it's got some bonus features on here. We've got reflections on the cheat, 47 minutes long, new trailer, and some other trailers. I got to see this. This sounds incredible.
Absolutely, yeah.
Then this one I feel like is right up your alley as well. October 13th, got a Blu-ray coming from Mono Duo Films, Scream of My Blood, a Gogol Bordello story, a documentary on the band Gogol Bordello. Love letter to immigrants everywhere. This follows the band's frontman, Eugene Hoots, and the punk movement that he helped build. Are you a Gogol Bordello fan?
Not particularly, but I don't dislike them. They're absolutely fascinating, though. So this is really cool.
I love their sound, and oddly, don't ever seek it out. I've got like 5 of their tracks that I like a lot, and I never think to put on an album or anything like that. But they're so good at what they do.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this sounds pretty interesting. Hey, again, don't market enough, but wanted to throw out there, especially because a lot of people that own companies watch the channel and listen to this afterwards. Antenna is looking to get some sponsors involved, not only for the Kickstarter, but also for some of our road shows. And we're looking for people to get involved for companies that are bigger, companies that are smaller, companies that want to join in on some of the stuff that we're creating on the road with all these road shows that we're doing. We are putting stuff on theater screens in front of people that support your companies and would support them if they knew about them. We are looking for people to be regional sponsors, full roadshow sponsors. We can tailor package to your needs and budgets. We can grow together. Reach out to partnerships at antennareleasing.com to get the ball rolling. And if you send a sponsor our way because you refer them and they mention you, we'll give you a little bit of a finder's fee. So hit us up. One of the big things that we can do is if you ever see, if you're waiting in the theater before a film starts and you see a couple of commercials play before that plays, that's expensive as shit to get local advertising up there. It's expensive to do on a national level. We do things where we can get you on the screens before all of our road shows that are playing nationwide for way less than they are charging and get in front of people's eyes that are actually supporting the products that you want them to support. So hit us up, partnerships at antennareleasing.com. All right. 88 Films put out a bunch of announcements today, and we get to talk about some fun ones. First off, 2002's The Mothman Prophecies getting a proper 4K and Blu-ray release from 88 Films only in the UK. This is coming out on October 26th. This is with Richard Gere, and it is a hell of a movie. Directed by Mark Pellington. It's got a 40-page perfect bound book, including Living with Ghosts, Lost in Love, and Mark Pellington's The Mothman Prophecies by Walter Chow. You've got You Have Been Here Twice Before, Mark Pellington's The Mothman Prophecies and the Uncanny by James Rose, and some stills. You got a double-sided fold-out poster. You got 5 postcards in this. And then extras, we got a new commentary by Mark Pellington, the cinematographer Fred Murphy, the composer Andy Milburn, the editor Brian Burdan, and then the production designer Richard Hoover. New commentary by Kim Newman and Sean Hogan. An archival commentary by Pellington. We've got a new piece, Making of Doc, featuring interviews with a bunch of people from the film, like Will Patton. You got a new making of the bridge sequence, new Mothman Under the Influence montage of Pellington's production archive featuring the music of David Ness, some archival extras that were on the previous stuff, and then Half-Light 2002 music video by Low, and even more on here. How do you feel about the Mothman prophecies?
I love this movie. I feel like this is another one that might be overhated. I could be wrong, but right? Yeah, I love this movie. And every time I watch it, the first time I watched it, God, was completely terrified and like transfixed by everything, and on the edge of my seat during the bridge sequence at the end, and all of it. And then going back to rewatch it years later, just felt the same. Everybody is so damn good in it. And again, Devin Whitehead with incredible artwork here.
I don't love this art. I got to be honest. I've never loved Devin Whitehead's style, and
okay.
Something about it is just sort of off-putting-ish.
Sure.
It is a choice. That being said, this could have been a lot worse, but I do really like that they also have the original art that you can choose from. This is a website exclusive, only limited to 1,000 copies. These website exclusives, I don't know about this one, but for many of them, they tend to go very, very quickly. I love this movie. It's very weird to be unbiased about this while I'm literally releasing a Mark Pellington film right now, and he's called me in the last couple of weeks. So I will just say, if you've never seen this, very, very, very much worth your time. I adore this movie. Loved this when I was younger. This is one of like the first movies that really shook me. Yeah. And sure, it's fake cryptid bullshit, but it's still a really well-made movie. Pellington's great at what he does.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this off the screen for a second because I have a question that I can actually answer that we don't get to talk about these things all that often. Silent Mandible in the chat says, how do you get folded posters flat? My mind says go to an iron, but I'm 99.9% sure that's a bad idea. How do I do it? So the way that I've been trained to do it, other than like professionally getting them framed by an actual framing shop, if you're just wanting to make them flat at home, poster board that is bigger than the poster itself, flat on a flat table. It has to be completely flat, and then get weights and put them on each corner of the poster board. That way the weight is not dimpling the poster itself, but it's being held there flat, and you let it sit there literally as long as you can handle. If you can let it sit there for like 5 or 6 days, that is the best way to make it flat. And then when you're done, flip it over and do it again for a couple days on the other side. That way it's flattened as much as possible without the creases. Have you done anything like that? Any other thoughts on folded posters?
You know what? No. And I've got all these. American Werewolf in London, last movie. Yeah. Like, and I the artwork, like, that's fucking crazy, dude.
It's so well done.
Right? Like, I got more. I don't even know what that's. Oh, Chow Yun Fat. Oh, yes, madam. Yeah. So, like, I got posters, but it's the same thing. It's like, well, they're creased and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah. Good. Thank you for sharing that.
I am very, very excited to have a video store that I can switch out posters.
Yeah, isn't that
because
cool?
I have so many to put in there.
Yeah, nice.
All right, more from 88 Films. October 26th in the UK and November 10th in the US. They are putting out a Blu-ray of The Owl versus Bumbo from 1984 with Sammo Hung and George Lamb and Michelle Yeoh. This one is interesting. Sounds pretty decent. We've got those three, and this they say all three of those actors together, they are known as Bumbo and the Owl. They believe that their criminal days are behind them. However, their past come back to haunt them with the ex-cop Chung returns to blackmail them. At his behest, the pair find themselves teaching at a reform school. But how long can their earlier criminal lives stay in the past? I mean, it sounds fun. I got to be honest. I love the art from Sean Longmore on this. We got an audio commentary by David West. We've got Ricky Baker speaking on the film, and that's about it. It is region A and B, so you should be good. Are you checking out many of these other Hong Kong films and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything with Sammo, of course.
Well, if Sammo is your thing, you've got something special to look forward to. Because not only are they doing this, they're also, let's cover this one first. October 26th in the UK, November 10th in the US. They're also doing the funniest title that I've heard in a while, other than Bo Boo Ba and Every Time I Larf or whatever it's called. Where's Officer Tuba? I mean, this cover art alone. Wow.
Give me that t-shirt.
Please. Please. Oh, God, I love love Long War's art on this. 1986, when timid police officer Tuba, played by Sammo Hung, more interested in music than chasing crooks, is put on a dangerous mission. He witnesses the killing of decorated hero Chow, who makes him promise to avenge his death. However, when he fails to live up to his promise, Chow returns as a ghost.
Oh my God.
Supernatural action comedy. We've got a commentary by Frank Chang and FJ DeSanto. I mean, this sounds like a blast.
100%.
Also a blast. Mermaids, coming to Blu-ray October 19th in the UK from 88 Films. This is from 1990 with Cher, Bob frickin' Hoskins, and of course Winona Ryder, fresh out of her wonderful, not wonderful. That was wonderful. I don't have a list. I promise.
Wonderful.
It's a wonderful movie. She came right after her big breakout at that time in Heathers. I like Mermaids a lot. How do you feel about Mermaids?
Yeah, I like it. I haven't seen it since it was one of my grandma's favorites, so I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But
we got an interview with the production designer Stuart Wurtzel. We got a visual essay by Heather Wixon. I kind of wish they'd done some more. I feel like Mermaids is a bigger movie than just a visual essay.
Yeah, weird.
I don't know. Bob Hoskins, freaking brilliant. Cher, freaking brilliant. Winona Ryder, freaking brilliant. Like, yeah, love it.
Yep.
And then November 10th here in the U.S., we are finally getting a U.S. release of Beatrice Cenci, the Lucio Fulci film from 1969 with Tomas Milian. I don't know what took this thing so long to come out, but it's very interesting that they were able to do this in the UK years ago, and now they're just doing it in the US. I'm kind of surprised it's 88 Films and not like Severin getting a 4K upgrade going on this.
Right.
Yeah, have you seen this one?
No, but I mean, Fulci, and I know this isn't the Fulci that, everyone loves, but
yeah,
I think Fulci, like Lenzi, is one of the most well-rounded filmmakers because they dabbled in so many genres, but were known for certain things. Lenzi with Polizia Tecci and like gross horror, and Fulci with, the horror, the eyeball trauma, all that shit. Yet they did so much more than that, and well.
This is one of those movies that, like, I feel like 10% of people, you ask them what their favorite Fulci film is, they'll actually say this one. And supposedly, this is really great. I've not ever been able to see this. I always wanted that UK release from 88 Films and have not been able to track it down. It is supposed to be special. It says Tomas Milian, Adrian LaRussa, and George Wilson co-star in this brutal retelling of the Cenci family. The film depicts the horrific events that led to the demise of one of Italy's most prestigious families. Through two timelines, we establish how and why this much-loved family was sent to the guillotine in 1599. And supposedly, I believe this is like one of Fulci's films that he's most proud of.
Yeah.
Came from 69, so pretty early in his career.
Yep.
But my goodness, glad we're getting a release of this one in the U.S. finally. More details soon, so hopefully maybe some new extras. Hopefully it's not just a direct port of their old Blu-ray that came out years ago, but either way. I
would assume Troy will have a commentary. Did he have a commentary on the first one?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a great question, because I think that was before Eugenio was producing for it. It was like before 88 Films was putting a lot of work into their stuff. Even.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. We are nearing the end, finally. All kinds of announcements today. September 14th, we're getting a Blu-ray in the UK from Paramount of Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour. I hope this gets a US release at some point, but gotta say, I love that James Cameron is allowing this to be released and not pulling a James Cameron for a while. The people that hate Billie Eilish, I don't get why. She's kind of incredible at what she does. More concert films, please. I'm so glad this is coming out. I don't understand why the Eras tour has not been released. You would print money at that point. But there's been a bunch. Like Olivia Rodrigo had a concert film that could have been released. There's been many that have been released or released online and not released physically.
Sure.
Any thoughts on Billie Eilish?
I don't hate her, but I really don't like her. I find her voice to be really annoying. Like put some breath behind it.
Well,
Kid, come on. So-
you're a bad guy.
Yeah. No.
That's the only reference I could throw out there. I'm sorry. What a cover art on this one, huh?
Good God, dude. What the God.
We'll just let this sit here for a moment. So we have a lot to talk about on this. So November 10th, we're getting a Blu-ray in the US from Cult Films. Now, for those that don't know, Cult Films is essentially Shameless. This is a sister company of Shameless, and they're putting out Salon Kitty from 1976 for a 50th anniversary collector's edition of Tinto Brass's Salon Kitty. I have so many feelings. Like, first off, this film is wild. A lot of people think this is Tinto Brass's masterpiece. This cover art is crazy, but Cult Films themselves doing it, and the fact that it's a Blu-ray, and the fact that I believe this is the first time that this has come out in the US on Blu-ray. I may be wrong there, but this is just a wild choice all around. I don't love that it's Shameless. That's the thing. Like, they've never been trustworthy. They just put out that AI cover art of the card player that was awful. Did you see that one?
No.
It's real bad. It's
Okay.
it's because it's called The Card Player. It's just a bunch of cards scattered across like a table with, I think it was like a bloody knife on top of it. But if you zoom in on the cards at all, it's like the three of hearts. It's so bad. It's like it says 3 and it's not even a full 3, and then there's like 7 diamonds on it or something like that. It's wild. Oh, Blue Underground did it in 2010. Josh, thanks for being my fact checker tonight. You've been amazing. So yeah, this is just a wild choice all around. So we are getting the extended director's cut of the movie, the original English and Italian audio tracks, a unique English language Tinto Brass interview that they're calling a making of, international trailer, US trailer, new and improved English subtitles, which I gotta be honest, I don't trust because it's Shameless. They call it a 2-sided art card. Is there a 3-sided art card somewhere I've never heard of? Original Madam Kitty American release poster reproduced to celebrate the film's 50th anniversary, and that's what you're seeing on the cover here. And it's literally the SS and nudity to sell this film.
I'm not a Tinto Brass fan. But is it weird that this isn't coming from
Cult Epics?
Cult Epics, right? It's weird.
I mean, they've had the complete monopoly of Tinto Brass recently, so maybe it's probably a different rights holder, I would assume.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess because this is the most well-known Tinto Brass film. I still don't like it. I don't know. Found it kind of boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
TBH. So. Yeah, and like I'm not prudish or anything, but like I don't know, I guess I don't get Tinto Brass's thing.
I was about to ask, are there any Tinto Brass films that you've liked a lot?
No.
I agree. All right. They're also doing on November 10th Miranda from Tinto Brass. This one very different from Salon Kitty. I don't know. It's a choice. On this, we're getting a Tinto Brass reveals all interview and a trailer, and Caligula is probably technically his most.
Oh, sure, yeah, true.
Miranda, have you seen this one?
No, I have not, and I will not.
Josh wants to know, what do we have against butts?
We love a butt.
Butt's good. Butt's great, even. All right, that's Tinto Brass. Next up, one that I'm excited we get to talk about together. October 16th, the UK, BFI is releasing Take It or Leave It, the Madness film. Madness, basically one of the pioneers and creators of ska. I am a diehard ska fan and will defend it to my death, which you defend it to the wrong person might be sooner than I plan on. I'm glad this is coming out. This is from 1981. It's newly restored in 4K by the BFI, presented in HD and SD, and it is a a Blu-ray and DVD dual format release. So you get a DVD in 2026. Audio commentary by the director and Chrissy Boy Foreman from 2002. Interviews with Suggs, Mark Bedford, and Dave Robinson from 2026. The band members and director are recalling their memories of making the film and how they feel about it now. You get some music videos, 22 minutes of music videos covering 1979 to 2022. You get a restoration demo and the original trailer plus a restoration trailer. If you buy the first pressing, you get an illustrated booklet featuring new writing on the film by Andrew Pulver and on the music videos by Johnny Maines and the original review by Neil Tennant. How do we feel about Madness and ska and music overall, my friend?
Yes, everything. We were in Laguna Beach, and I was on the hunt for Aaron Barrett because he lives in Laguna Beach. Madness is, they, like you said, they're the pioneers. We tip our hats to them. And so this is really cool. I'm really excited about this when I saw this earlier today. I can't wait. For God's sakes, I watched Amazon was streaming a bunch of the Vans Warped Tour this past weekend, and they showed the Real Big Fish reunion.
Real Big Fish, yeah.
And I cried. I cried watching Real Big Fish on the TV.
I mean, Scott was there. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, it was pretty incredible. So, big Madness fan, big ska fan.
I love Real Big Fish, and I don't care who does it. I adore ska.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this. I will absolutely own this. I've rocked out to Madness many, many times in my life. Please, can't wait for it.
Yep.
That is it. We covered a ton.
That was so many. What'd you say? It was like something around 80?
Something like 80. But in case you forgot through all that, what is coming out next week, you say, huh? Well, 4K of Prom Night from Synapse, which is getting pretty great reviews. Once a Thief 4K from Shout Factory, the Hourglass Sanatorium 4K from Radiance, the 2 boxes Televised Terror from their Transmission line, X the Unknown 4K from Hammer. I'm realizing this is showing a bunch of the foreign releases because of the Blu-ray.com weird setup. Let me refresh this. Not that I don't want to show all the foreign releases, but if I do, we'll be here for the next hour. And God, do I hate the ads on the site. Yes. Hey, Talladega Nights getting a 4K Steelbook that I know you've got pre-ordered. Yep. The People vs. Larry Flint 4K from Arrow, Safe 4K from Criterion, Exit 8 coming out, Macau from Warner Archive, American Pie 2 4K from the studio, and I would say pass on that. Get the 88 films; it'll be much better. School on Fire 4K from Shout, Midsummer Night's Dream from Warner Archive, Random Harvest from Warner Archive, Little Fuckers on 4K from the studio, and American Pie 2. You can also buy a Steelbook, and I'm going to say still don't buy it. Night of the Comet 4K, if you've never seen it, highly recommend it. The Seventh Cross from Warner Archive, The Sisters from Warner Archive, Presenting Lily Mars from Warner Archive. The Cardboard Lover with Marion Davies coming from Undercrank, one that I'm super into. Creepshow 2 4K getting a standard from Arrow, and some anime releases. That is the big ones for next week. Any that you are super after?
School on Fire. It's great. And that's about it. I've never seen People versus Larry Flint.
Hell of a cast. I remember seeing it when I was much, much younger, and I hardly remember it at all. Right. All these repressed memories, rememories? Did I just say that?
Yeah,
all these repressed memories. It's nice to be able to watch movies again for the first time, and that's a sentence that should not.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, new Arrow announcements tomorrow. There are a couple that have been teased in some of their cards, so I'm curious which ones we're going to get tomorrow. The big thing, Shout releases for next Monday have started to leak. So next week we get to talk about Hostel 1 and 2 on 4K from them, which I kind of think overhated. I kind of really like the Hostel. Hostel 2, pretty great. But the more exciting one for me, Shout is doing a 4K of Anthony Hopkins in Magic. I love Magic.
I do love Magic. Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that next week. Those will get announced on Monday and be up for pre-order that day. That's it for physical media talk. Now we get to talk about movies. So just borderline crazy ask here. Religion. Where do you stand? What do you want to say about it? How were you raised? Give us all the intimate details.
So that's like, we recently did an episode on the Seventh Seal on cult movies, and it was such a great conversation about like our past with faith and that type of thing. So here's, in a nutshell, my story. I was raised going to church, a Presbyterian church, not strict or anything like that. And then, I was pretty active in the youth group and everything, and became a camp counselor and all this stuff. And then graduated high school and never went to church. And then years later, after my cooking career, after my career playing music full time, I became a youth pastor somehow, and at a Methodist church in Omaha. And I think it was through a fellow musician kind of recommended me to the worship leader, and the worship leader, anyways, fell into becoming a youth pastor. And it was interesting. I worked with middle school kids, and I really, really love that age because they're so fucking awkward, and they're not quite too cool for you, but they're not quite like the annoying little kids. They're in this really awkward stage that a lot of people can't stand that stage of their own life or other people's lives, right? Yet for some reason I did, and I got along really well. And so I was a youth pastor for nearly 10 years, I think. And I started podcasting. I started a podcast on horror movies, and it was called The Basement on a Hill. And of course, I swore in it. And my pastor, who was my boss, called me for a meeting one day, and he said, "You're doing this. You didn't tell me about this. I don't think you should be doing this." And I was like, "Well, fuck you. I'm leaving." And the thing is, I never really felt like, I would stand up in front of the congregation, of 500 people, and I'd preach sermons. I didn't really believe what I was preaching, though. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't, I wasn't preaching anything bad. I was just preaching like as I was talking like, this is how to be or try to be a good human type of thing. Right. And like, but then I would, in our youth group, we'd have kids who were queer, and they were scared, and they didn't feel like they belonged, and they couldn't find any answers within that church, or probably any church really. And so they would come and talk to me about it. And I was like, 100% you are safe with me. And, but I couldn't stand being there. And so when the opportunity presented itself to me to be like, "See ya," I said, "See ya." And I went and became a stay-at-home dad for several years, which was great. And so in that time, I was like, I shunned God and faith and religion and church and all this stuff. And then when I finally got sober, one of our steps is you came to believe in a higher power. And I like that, saying higher power. You didn't come to believe in God. You didn't come to believe in whatever. There was just a higher power, a thing. And so many of us in the 12-step program, a 12-step program, find a higher power in, nature around us, wherever. I know a guy who found his higher power in this rabbit that lived under his. And so, that kind of helps us kind of grow into thinking maybe something grander than that.
Right.
And so it's been a journey coming from, whatever with the church and pretending to be super hard Christian and then hating. And so my whole thing, I realized I didn't hate the idea of spirituality or like a higher power. I hated church. I still do hate church. I don't hate people that go to church, but the idea of church, the idea of organized religion is not for me. As I keep saying that, like it really, and having worked in a church and seen behind the curtain, it's a business. And yes, like we all know that, but churches pretend that it's not. It fucking is, bro. It's a business, and let's not pretend that it's not. And so, anyways, church bad, spirituality, cool. Like whatever you want to believe in. You want to go to church too? Totally fine. It's totally fine. And so I love the idea of watching these movies that are about religion or faith or whatever, because it sparks these conversations.
Yeah. I'm very excited about the conversation tonight because of the stuff that you and I have talked about over the years. But to go quickly through mine, because most people have probably heard me, go on some rants before. I was raised, at first with no religion, and then when I was, I think I was 8 years old, my family went to I think it was a non-denominational type of Christian church. And somehow, after trying to find the right place, we ended up at a slew of Baptist churches. We went through 3 or 4 different ones just to find the right pastor, basically. But that was what my stepmom identified with. She felt more at home there. End up going through most of my life attending a Southern Baptist church that was extremely strict. Most people know I've been married twice. My first marriage had the marriage ceremony in this church. We couldn't have the actual reception there because not only do they not allow alcohol, which totally fine, that makes sense for something like that. You weren't allowed to dance. We could have not had alcohol. That's fine. But dancing is just idiotic. We I literally saw things where they had edited hymns where if it sang about dancing, they had to take out the word dancing. It's that sort of asinine thing. I've seen everything from corrupt business decisions, like you were just mentioning, to the most appalling sort of personal decisions that people have made. And that's where it is a problem. It's people. People are corrupt, and the idea of the Bible itself is quite welcoming. I completely understand the appeal to the Bible as a beacon of hope. I understand the appeal of a creator that loves a world so much that he sacrificed everything to make people feel loved. I do not feel that the current modern state of religion, for most religions, is what they had set out to be. I think that things have been corrupted in a way that is telling about who the people in those religious movements are. And I don't mean to say any of this tonight as an attack on anybody that's listening or watching or their beliefs or anything, of course. That being said, I have found myself over the years go from full on, I will defend it with my life type of believer, to a full on, I feel quite not just atheist, but anti-theist at this point. Right. Considering that we are in a world, specifically this country that you and I both live in, that has used beliefs as a way to harm people for existing. I can't say it any more innocently than that. Literally just for being alive. I can't sympathize with people that are okay with that. And even the way that I myself, when I was a teenager, used to think this is the strongest argument we can make is hate the sin, not the sinner.
Right.
Why are we hating anything? Why are we attacking somebody for literally who they are? Yep. It is such an asinine belief system when people cannot be allowed to legally live in their home and not affect you in any way, or anybody. They're not affecting anybody negatively in any way, and you feel it is your right to change the laws and police what happens in their own home. is the antithesis of what freedom is.
Yep.
And I'm fully against that.
Yeah. And that's, there's so much negation within a religion rather than love. It's so much more, don't do this, you can't do this,
Right.
no, rather than, I love you. That's it. There's like unconditional love. And the gross thing was that, like, I would stand up in front of 500 people at this United Methodist Church and preach about unconditional love. Yet in this building, we weren't allowed to marry two people of the same sex. And like, that was such a huge fucking thing to me. And then, like, I was working there when Trump was elected president the first time, and my pastor said, you can't say anything. You can't raise your voice about any of this. You can't go to any of the protest marches. And I was like, fuck you, I can. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And so, like, he was my biggest step 9. Like, I had a huge fucking beef with that guy. And so when I was going through the steps, like, he was the last one. I was like, fuck, dude, I have to go talk to this guy. And it was an incredible conversation. And of course, I'm super glad I did it. And I hold nothing against Steve. I can't, whatever. It'd be the same of somebody saying, well, you can't do this. You can't live your life like this. I'm not going to say you can't live your life like this. Believe whatever you want. Cool, whatever. But it was me, like, that internal struggle where I was like, I have to, like, be true to myself. And I talk about it all the time in posts, like, fucking have integrity, dude. Right. Like, do what you believe in, stand up for what you believe in. And, like, I was not doing that. And that's when I was like, this is a great opportunity to, like, not be here anymore. And unfortunately I left there and, like, stewed and, like, had this giant horrific thing of anger within me for many, many years, which turned me into a horrific alcoholic. And so that was, a problem, a new problem to solve. And so, just the kind of question of faith and spirituality has been, I love it. I love talking about it because I don't think anybody's wrong when they're talking about that. I think it's when we get into like doctrine, that's when people start getting wrong and saying the wrong things. You can like, but believing in something grander than yourself, I think is cool. Or like not believing in anything. If you think I die and then we're worm food, fine. I can't believe like that, but I don't hold it against anyone else that does. So, again, this is fucking great. I love talking about this stuff.
The idea to branch this with our discussion earlier on announcements and into this, what I really want to say, and this is not meant to be demeaning in any way towards beliefs, but I love a lot of films about religion for many reasons. And one of them is because the idea of something so inherently grandiose is that it is just inherently cinematic. That idea, the idea of everything rests on a couple decisions, the idea of all of life and existence hinging on something greater than us,
yep,
is beautiful and moving and deep and very personal. And therefore, not even necessarily depending on how you are raised, but depending on how you view a film, even if it's not what you believe in, if you have empathy, the ability to see what these people personally are struggling with or championing or living for or dying for or making decisions based on, some of these films are incredibly moving and some of the best films of all time. And they feel like so much is at stake so often.
Yep.
And so this conversation tonight is not meant to be disparaging in any way about religion. In fact, I have a separate list here to talk about for films that are funny based on religion, that are satires. I have a separate list here that are horror films, full-blown horror films about religion. I have a list here of films that are putting religion down that I think are also masterpieces. And I want to mention some of them because they're incredible. But we do have a lot to cover that are literally about just great religion or faith-based films that are not like Kirk Cameron jerk-off films, basically. And I hate to say it like that, but good God, like, as somebody that used to be a Christian and they're releasing films like Bulletproof and saying, everybody go support this, we have to show up as a community. Those movies are atrocious. Yeah. They are some of the worst films ever put on the big screen and not what people should be talking about when you're talking about great religious films. So a handful of things I would love to cover. And I did not tell you that I was doing this. So if you have any that you wanted to bring up, by all means, please. If you've never seen any of these films, please go watch them. They're incredible. This is before I get into the actual list. Mandy Moore in Saved. Saved is a masterpiece. It is hilarious. You will love the film. Even if you are religious, I think there's a lot to find to love there. Jesus Camp. There's a reason it gets brought up as a horror film. It is a terrifying look into indoctrination in a way that if you've never done anything related to youth group, summer camp, or anything of the like, is going to look like a foreign fucking civilization. If you have done one of those things and you have grown out of religion, you are likely going to feel a little bit of your heart breaking. If you have done and separated, or if you're still in it, a lot of it can be a little eye-opening. Jesus Camp is not easy to watch. Please give it a watch. You should be able to speak on it. Oddly, Constantine. There's actually a lot of really great religious dogma in that film, and I think it is a solid watch from I'm just going to say it, like a fantasy standpoint. And if you look at the Bible as fantasy, there's some great stories that are just going to say it like that. It is mythology 101 in so many situations, and it laid the way for many of the stories that we all know and relate to for a reason. It is great storytelling. It is great, wonderful passing down the story from generation to generation and getting some of those details wrong along the way. I just said the word, but Dogma, got to mention it. It's great and ruffled feathers for all the right reasons. It calls into question so many things. If you're still a believer, I love Dogma. It's not even like top 5 Kevin Smith for me, but it's still really great. Nobody talks about this. A few years ago, a little comedy came out called The Little Hours. So damn good. It's got Aubrey Plaza, Dave Franco. It is irreverent in all the right ways, but also somehow respectful to religion. It's incredible. Everybody would, if you're just thinking about like name movies about the church, they'll bring up The Exorcist. Exorcist 3 is actually the one to watch. If you really want to talk about the idea of religion and the idea of exorcism and approaching it in a way that is religiously terrifying, Exorcist 3 is crazy good. On that note, the opposite end of the spectrum where it's way less like believable, check out Midsommar if you've never seen it. It's one of my favorite cult films. I think it is shocking to a really great degree. I think it is one of his best directed films. It is probably his most coherent film, in my opinion. Love that movie. What else? For a very different reason, Spotlight. Spotlight is so well done. Investigative drama done right. It tells a story of something that comes out many, many times over in many of these films. My honorable mention is on a very similar subject from a very different timeline. Pedophilia in the church is a very common problem, and Spotlight talks about a lot of different things that you should know about. I mentioned Irreverence. The best example of all time, Life of Brian. If you've never seen it, you have to. The movie is amazing. Top tier comedy. It's incredible. Another one that is not, in my eyes, a comedy, but I think some people saw it as a comedy. The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Shockingly good. There's a reason that she was nominated for her role in that. It is a masterpiece. And Andrew Garfield, like really great. He gets a little sort of outshined by Jessica Chastain, but just very, very well made movie that is like so true to life in the way that they actually were. And then the last thing, it's TV and not movie, but if you've never seen it, Midnight Mass, masterpiece. Check it out on Netflix. I could go on and on about like the religious parables that come through in that movie and the idea of immigration as the outsiders coming into this, and vampires leeching. Like there's so many just wonderful, wonderful things that he does so well in that show. It's incredible. I do have an honorable mention before we get to the real list, but anything else before we get into our list, sir?
No.
All right. Okay. So my one honorable mention, it probably should have been in my top 5 list. It's been a while since I've seen this, so I probably can't go super deep into this. And I kind of hope it's one that you're going to bring up so that one of us can be eloquent. If you've never seen the movie Doubt, Philip Seymour Hoffman gives a performance that I can't say his best because he did 12 career best performances. This is just one of them. Doubt is amazing. And I think from a writing standpoint, the fact that they never answer the accusation at the heart of the story and leads to the title of the film being so unique because you walk away from it going, well, which is it? It's an incredible, incredible story and one of the best written movies that I've brought up in the last 5 minutes and will be bringing up in my top 5. Let's go into our list. What's the first one you'd like to talk about?
All right. I'm going to talk about a documentary about my favorite actor of all time. That man's name is Marjoe Gortner. The documentary is called Marjoe. Marjoe Gortner is one of the most fascinating people that has ever walked this earth. He started out as a child preacher on the tent revival circuit in the South and kind of up the coasts, a little bit through the Midwest. But he basically had, his mom was basically like a dance mom and would sort of feed him things to say, and people would believe he's actually speaking, like the Lord is speaking through him as a child, and that just wasn't the case. So cut to many, many years later, he's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, and he's living his life, kind of really goes deep into the hippie sort of lifestyle. Comes back with this documentary from Howard Smith and Sarah Kernochin, who were reporters for the Times, I think, or maybe The Voice, somebody. And they just follow him around as he's going back out on the tent revival circuit and shining a light on the hoax of it all. It's just them. It's preachers getting up there preaching fire and brimstone and then collecting money and then going back to their hotel rooms. And like, there's a great scene of him like lying on a bed covered in money. And he's like, this is what it's about. It's not about God. It's not about Jesus. It's about fucking money. And this is when, this is before he turns to a life of acting or singing. He's released a record, which is pretty fucking good. And realizes, oh, I still love the spotlight. And so he goes to Hollywood and he does a bunch of really super fun movies. And I mean, there's a reason he's my favorite actor of all time. He's so fucking charismatic. He's funny. He's so irresistibly watchable, and he's brilliant. Everything he says. But this documentary is eye-opening. It's fascinating. It's heartwarming. You will fall in love with Marjoe Gortner. You're not going to walk away thinking, "Oh, this guy's fucking trash." Like, he's actually shining. He's showing the badness of it all. And God, he's so goddamn charming. He's the best. Have you seen Marjoe?
I have not, no, but after hearing you say the word Marjoe over the last 7 years or whatever so many times, I need to, and I gotta stop.
It's insane that this doesn't have any sort of release.
Yeah.
Like, insane. Fucking crazy.
All right. I will seek it out. I will need to see this as soon as possible. My first one, not a documentary, thank goodness, but my most obvious choice that I wanted to bring up tonight, so I wanted to get it out of the way kind of early. Night of the Hunter. So this movie, this is one of those movies that you watch for the first time and it changes you for so many reasons. I mean, for filmmaking reasons. You can see the cinematography like you've not seen before. You've got a couple scenes that will be burned into your brain just because of the way that they look. But the heart of it, the inherent corruption of man, the inherent sales nature of religion that is used and showing how con men are just religion. It's just religion in a more victim suspect type of way. This Lawton film, I mean, I'm an idiot, so I'm not going to be able to fully go deep into Night of the Hunter more than anybody else has, but I fear so much for the kids in this movie in so many different ways. And the life that people like truly lived around the time when this is set and now is different and yet so not different. The indoctrination, the way that generations have been completely had their lives ruined by religion in so many different ways, from losing inheritances, and not just in the theft way, but literally in the way that the church is stealing it from people, the way that pastors are talking it out of people, the way that these people are predators in so many different ways, and yet religion not being seen as the villain for so many people. This is one of those first movies that called into question just so many things of every line of dialogue is so sinister, but you put it in a different context and it just feels like a Sunday.
Right.
That is terrifying. I adore this movie, and if you've never seen it, I know it's one of those very obvious cinema movies where everybody's claimed that they've seen it. It's important. No, it clearly is. You absolutely need to see Night of the Hunter, and God, the way that this movie is presented in modern formats is breathtaking. Please see this movie.
Yeah, it's great. This was my introduction to Mitchum, who is so scary in this movie. And then I think the next Mitchum I saw was A Holiday Affair, and I was like, impossible, this is the same man. So
why do his knuckles look different?
Right. Yeah, his love and hate speech in Holiday Affair is a little different. And in El Dorado and Out of the Past, and even Eddie Coyle, he's so fucking charming. And I mean, he's charismatic in Night of the Hunter, of course.
Very.
But so scary. So, and I've only seen this the one time, and the imprint that this film will leave on you is crazy. You will never forget it.
The river scene alone, the image that you're not expecting this film to go there, and then they're like, oh, that's okay.
Yep.
We're putting that on this. Okay. Yeah. Death is a part of this. That is wild to show that in this movie.
There's a reason this movie has been, homaged and cribbed over and over and over, from Spike Lee to The Simpsons to, it's fucking crazy.
They show a pastor literally on a foot chase with children in an effort to literally take them out. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Okay. I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say this title, and you're not going to think immediately, oh, obviously a movie about religion. But I think it is a movie about religion. I think most of this filmmaker's films are really about religion. And I'm talking about Abel Ferrara, and the movie is Bad Lieutenant. This is one of the most despicable movies I've ever seen.
Yep.
I love it to death. Harvey Keitel, I think, is at his absolute best. I haven't seen Harvey Keitel better than he is in this movie. It is haunting. It is absolutely like terrifying, heartbreaking, and the whole time you're just like, how can a person be like this while also thinking, yeah, clearly he's a fucking cop, like obviously. But I think through all the affairs and the planting of evidence and the fucking so much drug use, and the addiction is rampant from gambling to drugs to alcohol. All of that, I think, comes down to Abel Ferrara dealing with Catholic guilt. I think that's what it is. And the scenes of Harvey Keitel where he's like just gutturally making this sound that, like, I mean, it's so hard to describe. It's him crying and screaming, but through like gritted teeth, but it's coming from deep within him. And he does it. You first hear it when he's in the church, and then he does it when he's in the car. He does it a couple more times. And it's a man who, he's got this great line where he talks about he's invincible, and somebody's like, oh, because you're a cop. He's like, no, because I'm Catholic. And the facade of power that people believe they have because of their beliefs or their religion, their denomination, whatever, is like complete insanity to me. But it's on a different level here. And of course, I think everything might be a little heightened because it's a movie and everything. But it's the main case here is about a nun that is raped, and that's ripped from the headlines. That's where this story really comes from. It really happened. And, this nun is raped. And so Harvey Keitel's now investigating this, and he's trying to come to terms with, how does this nun forgive these men that did the most despicable thing to her? She forgives him though, and he can't come to terms with that. How does that make sense? In the like, he revolves. He's living in the same Catholic world as this woman, but he can't come to grips with that. So it's really fascinating. It's very hard to watch. The unedited version, don't watch the edited version. You need to watch the unedited version, even though there's some really horrible things that happen. And like the drug, like, everybody talks about Pulp Fiction, seeing, the heroin shoot up there. Dude, this did it first, and it's fucking gross. And like watching it in Pulp Fiction, you're like, oh, wow, it's so beautiful. It's cinematic. It's a movie. This is like, are we in a fucking heroin den right now? Like, this is terrifying. This is gross. I don't want to watch this, but you should, because it's great.
So this is where I'm the dissenter. I actually do not like this movie. And I don't know why.
Or not.
It is, I mean, the movies that I like, I really expected to like this. And I like Abel Ferrara a lot. A couple of his movies I really, really enjoy. Something about this, obviously it's a very abrasive film, obviously. But I don't think it's that. Something about it doesn't click. It also could just be, it wasn't the right time. I do need to give it another watch. Keitel is kind of legendary in this movie. I will happily admit he is truly incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a hard movie, no matter what. Like,
super hard movie. Yeah.
It's tough. Gosh, yeah. Still, everybody needs to see it at least once. All right. I'm realizing now a lot of the ones that I chose quite mainstream, but they're also just important to the way that I have looked at things, I guess, especially a couple of these that were fairly important for like being able to verbalize deconversion, but also showing respect for the way that faith is drilled into people. And this next one is probably the one that is most faith-based without making it sound like it's, I don't know, like VeggieTales or something.
Sure.
So like, a movie that is asking you to put all of your beliefs into something that is based on very little evidence, but also just seeing somebody relent to the fact that they have no control and watching them deal with deconversion is always interesting to me. And I will defend this for a very, very long time as well. But M. Night Shyamalan's Signs.
Oh, shit. I thought you were going a different way. Okay.
It's such a unique way to watch somebody deal with the death of a partner, leading to them having no hope, but then watching their most life-shattering thing happen to them and see the way that it all comes full circle to them. So a priest that is, or a father or local, whatever, they don't technically say whatever, him dealing with all these family struggles is an already interesting way to frame an alien invasion film. But a movie that is so like rock somebody's belief system to the core, like Signs, is an interesting way to look at faith as the like analog story device of this film alone makes this film so much deeper to me.
Yeah.
The aliens, it like that has so little to do with most of the meaning of this movie that it's kind of inconsequential, to be honest, but it's still just a perfect metaphor for what they're trying to get through in this movie. And I have always been unhappy with the way that people look at M. Night Shyamalan as a writer, because so much of his stuff is philosophical and great and deep and all that. And yeah, honestly, he puts out some silly movies sometimes. Like his last movie, I don't know why. It's Josh Hartnett was great. Like it's entertaining, but something like Signs is so much deeper than what it looks like on the surface. And even like The Village, which I could have thrown in here as well, is another way to literally talk about brainwashing in a society and hiding things from the overall world in so many different levels. And Signs in itself, just being a self-reflective view of faith, is so interesting when it's, first off, I didn't even get there yet, when it's Mel Gibson as that character. Like the way that tells so much more of a story in 2026, it is so asinine to me that people watch this and go, oh, the water's being bad for the aliens sucks, never could have worked, that makes this a bad movie. Dude, it is so much more than that. And the characters around him being who they are and what they are, and I just the unshakable faith being shaken, and have that being, pardon the pun here, resurrected by the aliens, is such a way that I think is, as you look back at somebody that's deconverted, it is so obvious that just in times of trauma, people turn to religion, and it's so well done here that it's, I don't know. I adore this movie. I feel like the performances here don't get the credit they deserve, but man, Shyamalan just crafted an incredible film. I love this movie.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorites. I'll never forget seeing it for the first time on opening weekend. We were down in Phoenix, my cousin and I, and speaking of the alien, like the first time we see the alien on the birthday party video, which is so funny because it's not a jump scare. The alien just walks across slowly, right? The frame. But it scared me so much. I literally, the only time it's ever happened, literally jumped out of my seat into her lap. Like it scared the shit out of me. But at that time, I think I was still, 2002. I think I was still like a summer camp counselor at this church camp, and kind of had these beliefs. But it was, Gibson's performance is incredible, but all the two moments that really stick out to me are the dinner, the night of the invasion, where nobody wants to eat their food, and he, slams his hands on the table, and because they want to pray, and he's
jarring.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and it's heartbreaking. And then when Rory is having his asthma attack, and he's he's praying but not praying, and he's like, don't do this again, don't do this to me again. Like every single time I watch this, which it's been probably 100 times, tears in my eyes. Like it's heartbreaking because it's a man that wants to pray so bad but can't. And I have nothing, I don't pray. I have nothing against prayer though. But like seeing somebody struggle that much just to do that, just to pray, which is a very simple thing. It's just having a conversation. Seeing a man struggle that much to pray is very moving. And it's a, Mel Gibson, terrible person, pretty good actor.
Yeah, and director too.
And director, yeah. But I'm a big Shyamalan fan. I don't love all of his movies, but I think you'll see in most of his movies, there's a question. It's him at some point questioning faith. It's him dealing with some sort of faith thing. And I think that's him wondering things. And this is how he processes it, by putting it in his movies.
And it's in most of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. And you don't have to look that hard either.
No. But he doesn't beat you over the head with it either. It's just, it's a side plot, but really, like if you look at Signs, it could be the plot too. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. My next one is a movie that's been on my watch list for a long time. No, not a long time, a couple months. But I watched it with my wife yesterday for this podcast. And then when you were like, what do you want to talk about tonight? I was like, I prepared for religion. This is a movie from 2023 called The Starling Girl. Did you see this?
No.
Okay, it's streaming on, a lot of places, Canopy, Netflix, Prime. It's about a girl who is 17 years old, who lives in sort of this quite conservative, almost fundamentalist Christian community. And, she's a teenage girl going through it, and she has questions, and they're in church one day, and the pastor's son has returned, who is played by none other than Lewis Pullman. And he has just returned from a trip down to Puerto Rico, where he was, it doesn't explicitly say, maybe he was on a mission trip or whatever, but he was gone for quite a while. He's back. He's the new youth director. And the first Sunday school he does with these kids, like he has them just lie on the ground and concentrate on their breathing and like feel the ground beneath and like, feel your connection to the earth. And, sort of this hippy dippy stuff for these kids. And a lot of them are like, this is too weird. What the hell's going on? Of course, this young lady, her name is Jem, develops a crush on him. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all as far as I'll go. But it's, it's a coming of age movie. It's a movie about questioning beliefs. It's a movie sort of, but not really, maybe condemning a more fundamentalist leaning church community. The performances are out of this world. Jimmy Simpson plays her dad, who's an alcoholic and a former, he's within the past 2 decades born again Christian, and so one of the side plots is his old musical partner, songwriting partner, had just died, and so he's reminiscing about the days of playing secular music, and so that's a really touching part. And the ending, my wife and I we're there like, oh god, like not because anything bad happened, because it was so touching.
Wow.
But it is fucking incredible. I cannot believe like it hasn't been, 56,000 logs on Letterboxd, nothing to sneeze at, but like only 3 of my friends have seen it. So it's really good.
No, there's got to be no physical release for that, I assume.
No. I looked it up last night.
Jeez. I need to see this.
Yep.
That sounds real. And Lewis Pullman has been great in everything.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's of the moment right now.
Yeah, so true. Speaking of the moment, every time this filmmaker makes a movie, he is clearly of the moment for a while. And I don't know, something about his filmography has never hit hard until the one I'm about to mention, but also, funny enough, the one he did last year, which is unlike anything else that he's ever done before. Darren Aronofsky's Mother.
Yeah.
Mother is one of those movies that I watched and pretty much immediately felt compelled to watch again. And funny enough, it's one that I've watched like 3 or 4 times, and I think I'm realizing that I've always been so enveloped by it. I've not logged any of the rewatches in Letterboxd because I feel like every time my score has gone up, and it's hard to think about that movie even as like a movie I'm going to rate with the score on Letterboxd, because it doesn't feel like that type of a movie.
Yeah.
It taking place in this house that in itself is basically a character in the way that Aronofsky is delivering the story. It being just a few characters with some other, actors that come in and out sometimes. But these two people that are such a metaphor for not religion necessarily, but spirituality. I think this is the best film that I've seen for that idea itself. It just being like centered with the earth, and attaching with there being greater meaning to every decision, to every word, to every meaningful interaction. And that's one of those things that I walked away the first time I saw this and immediately like questioning like some of the people that I still considered friends. Like, what these people aren't meaningful to my life. Why do I keep them as friends? Why do I waste time there? Why do I allow myself to be treated this way by certain people?
Right.
And finding out where I'm investing into my like ecosystem, I guess is the right way to say that, especially with the way this film ends.
Sure.
Is such an interesting way to approach your life following watching a movie like this. And I mean, Bardem and Lawrence are great, and I don't know, just very, very centered performances from both of them in a way that I don't know that they were expected to give, especially when, I mean, first of all, how do you make a trailer for this film? But like all the advertising leading up into this movie is so odd. And Jennifer Lawrence has had a weird career already, but I mean, Javier Bardem, we know that he's a great actor. We've seen him do incredible things, but this is such a like heavy and heady and heavy type of film to approach. And when you're talking about the entirety of life, like there's a couple Deaf Crocodile titles where they're animated films that literally cover eons basically, and you're like that's a lofty goal,
right?
Mother is the exact same thing, but done in such a Darren Aronofsky way, and for some reason it's the first one that really worked like that for me. But God, it is so well done, and obviously his movie from last year has nothing to do with this necessarily, but is really well made. That's the only other one from him that I've really liked. But yeah, Mother, with an exclamation point for some reason. Great movie. It got terrible reviews. A lot of people hated this movie. Don't believe them. It's freaking great.
Yeah. It's one of those you go in, and clear mind, come out, think what you want. Yeah, Sibner said it. You have to say it with the exclamation point. Mother.
I forgot the exclamation. Sorry.
It's and this is one I've only seen once, and I want to go back to it because it is so heady, weird. I want to see what I get from it upon a rewatch 10 years later. Okay, my number 4 All right. There's a few movies you could pick from this filmmaker. I'm going to pick this one. I hope I'm not stealing one from you, but I get to do it first. Paul Schrader is a man who is he's going through it, as you could say right now. He's a man who's been going through it his entire life, apparently. Tremendous writer, tremendous filmmaker. I love almost everything I've seen from Paul Schrader. He was raised in the upper Midwest. Would we call it Michigan the upper Midwest? Or they don't so. They don't okay. In a very strict Calvinist community. And the Calvinists believe in predestination, basically, that some people are preordained when they are born, that these are the chosen ones, and at a certain point they're going to be lifted up or whatever. Preordination is their thing, which is laughable to me, but whatever, it's all good.
Who needs free will?
Who needs free will? I'm going with hardcore. There's, I think, a more obvious choice, which if you bring it up, great, because that
I will be.
Okay, that's a great movie as well. I love hardcore because it's the cynical 70s. It's really gross and like grimy, and it's a travel log. We go all over the fucking country from Michigan west. George C. Scott is so goddamn good in this. I mean, when is he not? He has some great yelling moments, as he normally does. But a lot of people remember the scenes of, him posing as the porn producer and, big Dick Black, or Black Dick Black coming in. And those conversations and his moments in LA and his moments up in San Francisco. The ending is great because I feel like it's an honest ending. It's not like, hey, dad saves the day and she's going back to the Christian community. No, it's not like that. It's like, fuck, I want to live in the real world. Like, I don't want to go back to that shit. All that said, I love the quiet moments, like during Sunday dinner, or even after she's taken off, disappears on the mission trip out in California, and you have these moments of the guys sitting out on the front porch of the house, and it's just overlooking, a county road or a highway into a field of, whatever, like a prairie. There's something about those moments, though, where I don't know, like I'm really transported into the film, and I'm kind of there with them. In the first time we're there, it's like, I don't want to be here, but I'm here because these people are like. It's interesting, though, how he portrays sort of this Calvinist. When the people are together out in Michigan in Grand Rapids, it doesn't look bad. It looks very fun, and like it's a very, family-oriented atmosphere, and like Sunday dinner, and kids are running around, and like, just normal jovial conversations. And it's really cool being there. And then the daughter disappears, and then they come together and they're there for him. It's not like, we need to pray for her, we need to pray for you. It's like, yeah, let's get into action. Let's do something. And I think that's really cool. I love seeing that. But then, I also love that George C. Scott's like, I'm doing this on my own. And then he fucking hires like the sleaziest PI he could find. Yeah, God, hardcore. I fucking love this movie. Love it so much.
It's a great movie. I loved your fake out, by the way. That was masterfully done. Yeah, hardcore is a hard watch for many multiple reasons. George C. Scott, I have seen a handful of films from, and I'm never once like not mystified with his, mostly just his presence.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, there's a couple of these movies like fuck. He is the screen when he's there. Like he eats everything that is there. And sure, was not a great person, but my God, pretty astounding actor. Hardcore is such a well-written movie. Which makes me even more sad when I feel like Paul Schrader for me is probably the most like spectrum defining director for me. When I love him, he's perfect.
Yeah.
And when I don't, it's not like a 3-star movie. It's like a 0.5-star movie.
Can you give me an example of a 0.5 star?
The Card Counter or whatever it's called, the newest one.
Oh, really? See,
I
haven't seen
one from it, or not the newest one. It was like from 3 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
I hated that movie.
Really interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's made a lot of great movies. I will never take that away from him. But man, it's so tough to see somebody that embraced like thought-provoking, boundary-pushing art for so long to come out and spew this just religious and filth that he does now, and embracing AI and the pulling up close to some of these people that he has literally written and railed against for decades, and now he's chums, and I don't understand it. And so many of these people will say, well, as you get older, you'll get more and more conservative. Brother, I feel myself getting more and more anti-conservative every single day of my life, and I don't comprehend how those mostly older generations keep leaning that way. And what's funny is so many of Schrader's stories kind of foretell that feeling. I feel like it's so weird. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a tough one. I feel like a lot of people have not seen Hardcore though. Kino put that out. I think a couple years ago, Imprint did it as well, but please seek out Hardcore.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. My number 2, that I was going the opposite way from you. I was leading into like what is one of my favorite ones. This was a very fast favorite of mine, and a lot of people are probably going to look at this and say it's recency bias, but I don't think so. I've seen this movie 3 times and felt more and more appreciative of the craft of this film. But as I talked about with Signs being the definition for like faith and actually giving everything up for faith, this one is what I've looked at for the word devotion. And that is last year's fast-fold masterpiece that got passed up so quickly, The Testament of Ann Lee. Amanda Seyfried is perfect in this role. She literally does nothing wrong. Her emoting in this movie is stupendous. The ability for her to have everybody glom onto her as this founder of the Shakers is just the definition of devotion in every way. And funny enough, another Lewis Pullman, literally one of the best parts of this movie. He is so stoic in the way that he performs most of this movie. You just wonder how he's just so, I'm all in. And yet he pulls it off magnificently. The founding of a religion is so odd to document. And for many reasons, it's always hard to discuss religion in terms of founding it, because by definition, religion shouldn't be founded. If it is the basis of everything, it should have always existed. Like, we don't need a creation. We don't need a Batman origin story for Jesus. Like, I mean, I don't want to, I wasn't planning on naming just specific religions here, but like Mormonism has always been hilarious to me, because they're like, in the early 1800s, this was founded. It's like, my brother in non-existent Christ, everything existed before you're claiming this started. What? Huh? That can't possibly be true. But this is the first movie that I've seen document the founding of a religion in a way that makes sense, as far as starting to be essentially like American, anti this religious withholding of certain rights to certain people, and pushing back against the tyranny. And yet through that pushback, we get what we're doing now in America in 2026 is tyranny begets more tyranny.
Right.
And the authoritarianism that is found in the desire to stop the belief of anybody is where we lose the complete self that we supposedly set out for. And going back to that word devotion here, like Ann Lee herself in this film is not special. We see it, like we see her just making some choices that people deem as a big deal and as special. It's just like it's just a sign of protest, and it's not even this sign of protest that goes as far as like the self-immolation that we've seen in some of these Asian countries, or these people that have gone on 40-day fasts to make sure that they can get a message across. It's literally just like, fuck you, I'm out and doing my own thing. And in the fact that you can get 38 other people to say, okay, I'm in, let's ride this train together, that's terrifying in so many different ways. But the philosophy behind it, the idea of community, the idea of these people being devoted what should be to an idea, but ends up being to a person, is where religion completely goes off the rails for me. And I think is one of the best ways that this has been captured. God, I could talk about this movie for hours. The music in this movie is so damn good. I haven't even asked, have you seen The Testament of Ann Lee?
I haven't. No, you're selling it really well, though.
So it is not a musical in that they are advancing the plot, but music is used as a large portion of this film, and the chanting and the dancing are so well choreographed and very late 1600s. It is like chills to the spine type of music. It's
nice.
So well made. All of the craft is so just meticulously thought out. Obviously it's fast forward, so it's a lot of the same people that worked on The Brutalist, and so it's very like deeply entrenched in devotion again to it being as authentic as it possibly can be, and it just reeks of beauty and authenticity in every single frame, shot stupendously. Turns from incredible character actors that I've loved for years. Obviously, Lewis Pullman is great. Amanda Seyfried is mind-blowing in this. But man, you get something like Christopher Abbott, who is always incredible in no matter what movie he shows up in. And it is not a stretch here to say that this is one of his best. He is so good in this.
Wow.
Just magnificently directed. I not just for being from a great movie, but for the devotion in and of itself throughout this entire story. I cannot recommend this movie enough, and it pisses me off to no end that we're not getting a physical release of this. It is such a stupendous film.
Wow. Well, this might be what Bobby and I are watching tomorrow night. It sounds great.
Hope you love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay, my last one is, well, I'm just going to say it. It's The Wicker Man. The
Good
original
choice.
Wicker Man.
Yeah. Not the piece?
Actually, I haven't seen the remake.
It's not good.
I know it's not good, but I feel like I should because I've basically seen it because of all the memes, but so the Wicker Man, another movie we covered on the podcast. It is, it is so open up for interpretation. Is it a satire? Is it a horror movie? Is it just a straight up comedy? Is it a mystery? I think it's all of these things. You're talking about the older you get, like you're becoming more and more anti-conservative, which I'm with you on that. But also, the older I get, the more and more I hate the binary of almost anything, whether it be gender or fucking genre. I think The Wicker Man defies that binary of genre. It's a beautiful movie. It's It's scary. It's funny. It is a great mystery. The performances are out of this world. Edward Woodward is the cop who goes and he's trying to locate this missing girl on the island of I can't remember.
Summer Isle.
Summer Isle, thank you. And comes across just the most peculiar people. And they have their own religion that is it's sort of a conglomeration of a bunch of different sort of ancient religions or beliefs over in Europe, and it's really fascinating what they do with it all. And it centers around a parade through town. Everybody's wearing masks, and then they end up at this giant figure made out of wicker, where they're going to sacrifice a bunch of animals and a human being by setting it on fire. And I'm sure most people have seen this. I remember the first time I watched Wicker Man, I was like, this is the Wicker Man? Like I didn't know what to expect, and I was much younger. I mean, 20s, maybe even high school, but definitely 20s. And the more and more I watch it, the more and more I love it, because I find myself falling more and more in love with Summer Isle and its residents, and Lord Summer Isle, played by Christopher Lee in as many roles as Christopher Lee has had, my absolute favorite role of his. It's such a fun movie in which to live, because it's such great sort of on location photography. We come into the island. The only way to get there is by seaplane, and fucking Edward Woodward like lands his plane in the lake or river or wherever, and then he has to ferry himself in. It's just like, I want to be here. I want to live here, and I want to dance naked with all these people, and it's fucking sex everywhere, and everybody's wearing costumes, and like everybody's happy and probably high as fuck. It's fascinating.
Utopia.
What?
It's a utopia.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as religion goes with it, Edward Woodward is, he's a very strict Anglo-Saxon, and he doesn't get why nobody else believes in the Lord Jesus Christ, and that the only way into heaven is to believe in Jesus Christ. How can nobody believe that? Like, this is insane. You people are insane. And because you don't believe in it, you're abusing your children because you don't believe in it. Now they don't believe in it, and he's trying to force his beliefs on people, and they're just like, fuck you, dude. Like, my God, enjoy life, please. And I think they go to all lengths to give him a chance to just let go, dude. Like live life, join us, please. And some people could say it's a cult. Sure, it could be, whatever. I don't know. These people are having a pretty damn good time. And they seem to be killing the right people, so whatever.
This movie's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, it is the ultimate cult film. I'm glad we got to talk about it tonight.
It's fun. Let's see. Paul Berryman says it's fun to say Edward Woodward with only the vowels.
Woodward.
I don't even want to say it. It sounds like we're having a stroke.
Oh wait, I did the opposite. I did it without the vowels, so it would be iwa ua, yeah.
Love
anyways,
see, we're conjuring up some sort of ancient god by doing that. I think that was the whole trick behind it.
Speaking of conjuring, my number one film, The Conjuring. I'm just kidding. So, alluded to it earlier, all of this to go to what is my favorite religious film, which is First Reformed. this is, to me, the ultimate discussion of how can there be hope in the hopeless? And when you can see that you have already ruined something, how do you make a choice to continue to choose to do good? And I think that is the ultimate discussion surrounding morality when it comes to religion. And my God, no pun intended, this movie and its ending and its raw emotion from Ethan Hawke is his best performance from a man that has only given great performances ever. This is Schrader's masterpiece, and I will stand by that until I see something different. I cannot. Well, first of all, I cannot believe that there's 2 Amanda Seyfried titles at one.
I know. Obsessed much, Ryan? Jeez.
We did get 2 Louis Pullmans too. This movie, drawing on the parallels between faith and the climate crisis, and the way that we approach making choices when you don't have to make certain choices, and watching the struggles within that Ethan Hawke is able to put on screen, is like the epitome of everything that I've talked about on my first 4, kind of all rolled up into one, because you see his journey of all of these things together is devotion and faith to the nth degree. It is questioning reality, like in Mother, in so many different ways, and like the importance of every single decision that we make. And with Night of the Hunter, like there's so much fear in this movie, and so much just leading to when all hope is lost. How do you go out? How do you make a decision to? I don't want to spoil the ending, because somehow still a lot of people have not seen this movie. But
really, damn it, I want to talk about the ending.
It's okay. If you have not seen First Reformed, you probably should not watch for a little while. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put up our spoiler background.
Oh.
You can mute it. And when we're done talking, and I'll take this banner off and we'll go back to without it. So mute it and don't listen for a minute.
Okay.
Go away, because you need to experience this film. Hit me with the ending.
Okay. I like about the vest and everything, the bomb vest. That's great. What's keeping this this is at 4.5 stars for me.
Ooh.
Could be a 5-star movie. Like them, it's just like they slam together and they kiss, and that's the movie. It's like, bro, really? Yes, we knew that's where it was going, but we didn't just allude to it. You don't need to fucking show it to us.
Yeah.
And me being the sicko cynic that he is, I was the first time watching this, I was like, yeah, he's gonna fucking blow it up. Do it. And then he doesn't. I'm like, fuck. All right.
the choices in this, and that it's such a weird parallel for this, because the religious aspect of it and the climate crisis, they merge together, and then the explosive choice here, pun, is one that you both want to see come to fruition, but also, why do we want to see that? Why?
Yeah.
Why are these choices being made? Why are we leaning towards that path, and then still making the creative choices as a viewer, but also as a liver in this world, that go down that path, that are inevitable for that path? And by far, it's the one thing that I've seen from him that works on like every level. Agree with a couple points on the end, but the fact that they even go so far as to show the bomb vest is such a bold choice. They could have like, it would have been a very Schrader move to show like a news report about it.
Right. Oh yeah. Good. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I love seeing the bomb vest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Spoilers off.
I also like Cedric the Entertainer.
He's so good in this.
Kind of against type, right? Yep. I mean, he has no range, but he's playing against type, and like you end up hating this guy. He hasn't done technically anything wrong, but you're like, you're so fucking obsessed with the church.
Yep.
You don't care about the people. It's the buildings, it's the money, that's what you want. It's the physical shit. It's not actually the people. It should be about the people. And I think Schrader does it so well. And then via Ethan Hawke, who I agree this is his best. Ethan Hawke is a pastor who actually fucking cares about the people.
100%. And there's never a doubt about that.
He doesn't care about anything else. It's the people. And when it comes down to like him starting to research about the climate crisis and all this stuff, it ultimately leads back to humanity, people. He cares about people. And that's what sorry to insert myself again. That's why one of the reasons I also left the church is because it should all be about people. It wasn't all about people. It was like 25% people and then 75% about building and, paychecks and bringing in funds and fundraising and all this stuff. No, it should be 100% people. And Ethan Hawke shows that as a priest in this, which is anti to what his bosses, want. And so in that way, Cedric the Entertainer is fucking great in that role.
Yeah, Cedric is great. The movie never, there's never a doubt that Ethan Hawke is about the people, which I think is one of the more important things about this, because it being in earnest and not being something that is showy or flashy or something about Ethan Hawke or something that he's putting on as a facade is the only thing that sells this film. Because if that's not the case, the moral conundrum does not exist. The parallels for the climate change and the religious side of it does not exist. It does not have the value. It does not have the weight. It does not become a film that really needs to exist, because all that posturing is our life right now. Like, we're seeing that in the religious world and the climate change world. We're seeing that in the political world, in the activism world, which this film tackles all of those in the way that a young Schrader did in all of his films. And the old Schrader is only doing the opposite, which amazes me that he made this in the 2010s and not 1973. Right. Because this feels like such a 1973 movie and would have been so foreboding then. And it was foreboding now, but we're already in that hopeless part. And nobody, I say nobody, obviously a lot of us took it that way because we're all cinephiles, but like the overall planet should still be talking about this movie because it is that meaningful.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's so good. And the last time I watched it, Bobby watched it with me for her first time, and she was completely blown away.
Good.
Pun.
Good. Oh, man. This has been incredible. This is exactly everything. When I brought this up the other day, this is everything I wanted.
Yeah, I love having these conversations because it's so, it's so wide spanning over so many issues, and I don't know. Yeah, I love it.
All right. Not to just shift away from First Reformed and religion to promotion. And you got a date coming up for cult movies coming back? Anything?
Okay. Yes. I can tell you, we're recording on the 8th, which means the episode will come out on the 17th. We're back on August 17th.
Sweet.
And
well, that's exciting.
Nightmare Alley.
So you can watch and prepare for that and listen. I mean, Cult Movies is great. Always, everybody needs to subscribe. Follow Anthony on Letterboxd. Linked for that is in the description below. Anything else exciting coming up you wanna shout out?
No, I don't think so. That's about it. Just the return of the podcast.
Amazing. Well, thanks again for a great night. Thanks everybody for hanging out and the fun chats back and forth. By the way, lots of great movies mentioned tonight. Something like Martha Macy Me, Marlene. I don't know that I got that in the right order. I never do. Love it. The Devils, obviously. I saw somebody mention it. Incredible. When it comes out later this year, please go see it. I cannot wait to see it on a big screen. That's fucking mind-blowing that we get that chance later this year. I could have literally named 100 other movies. There's a handful of other things that were very close to making the list, but with you and I, we always talk long. So I wanted to keep it to 5. This has been incredible, though. This is one of my favorites. So thank you.
Yep. Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
All right. Next Thursday, Dr. Will is back. It's the first Thursday of the month. We got 417 announcements to cover next week. We'll see you then. Stay safe, everybody. See you next time. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small, and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description